Hold on. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the City Ground Nottingham for alternate live commentary. Something to enjoy with your Sunday roast, whether it's pork, ham, or even beef. We've got a real Midlands derby for you to get your teeth stuck into, because we've got Nottingham Forest, who knocked out Arsenal in the last round. You heard that with us on the TC Hub. We're here again at the City Ground, and I've brought the top team with me this time round. I've brought Trevor and CW alongside us. Alongside me in the cramped press box here. Remember last time I was here, we saw Arsenal defeated here. Me and Paul James were on the commentary team that day. There's three of us here, and it's great to be in the company of two esteemed commentators. That is for sure. The tension and the atmosphere is building up a treat as the holders go to Forest, and they'll go there with quite a lot of intimidation. That is for sure. It's a Midlands derby, and you can bet your life that both sets of supporters will be right up for it. Leicester fans will be situated in the Bridgeford end away to my right-hand side, and the other three parts of the ground, the other three stands populated by Forest fans. It's going to make for an explosive cocktail with an explosive atmosphere. What a game it promises to be. It's live from the City Ground. Alternate commentary around the world on all TCF platforms: JB Sports, JDAT Football, Storm FM, TCF 2, and we're on Twitch as well, by the way. It's Nottingham Forest against Leicester City, coming up for you in 12 minutes' time. Well, good afternoon to you all, and welcome to what is a raucous City Ground. Terrific atmosphere for this Spurwell Cup tie. JP in the Bill's chair today, and I brought along to the City Ground with me CW and Trevor. We'll hear from CW in the build-up to the game, but let's get the all-important team news, and for that, let's go just across the line and join Trevor.
Thank you, JB. Well, the team news here is quite interesting, because the main man for Nottingham Forest, who grab on, is injured and will not play today. As for Leicester City, Jamie Vardy's not fit enough, and there are some changes on both sides. For the home side today, they are starting up with what could see as a very defensive formation. 3 standing at centre-back, 4 across in a deep midfield position, and then an attacking midfielder supporting 2 centre-forwards. Lining up for Nottingham Forest, well, they've got Bryce Samba, the Congo international, in goal for them today. They've got Joe Rule that captains the side, and he's alongside Steve Cook, the former Bournemouth defender today, and the Scottish international Scott McKenna. That'll be the back 3 for Nottingham Forest today. In the midfield, well, they've got David Spence sending it to right back position, in that right forward position. In the lower part of the midfield, they've got Ryan Yates, young Englishman, alongside James Garner on loan from Manchester United, and Max Lowe also playing on the left for them. So it's a very English midfield. In the attacking roles for them, well, Philip Ziganegel, the Danish international, he lines up, and just ahead of him, of course, is Brennan Johnson, the Welshman, and Keenan Davis, also on loan from Aston Villa. The substitutes are set up for them very kindly with Hovarth, Figueroa, Colback, Liera, Surridge, who they signed on a deadline day loan, Robiero Diaz, Costa Silva, Ogier, and Lolly lining up. For Leicester City today, well, it's a very strong-looking attacking side by Leicester City, and sure, Brendan Rodgers will be hoping that this is the opportunity where that they can really go and show what they can do. And East Midlands derby and defending the trophy, well, they made a couple of changes to do so today. Danny Ward, the Welshman, steps in for Kasper Schmeichel, who relinquishes the armband today. The captain for Leicester City today will be Yuri Tielemans. In the right-back position is James Justin, and the centre-half partnership is Daniel Amati and Kalga Soyan Chu. And on the left is young Luke Thomas, the Englishman, playing at left-back. In the anchoring roles for Leicester City today, Wilfred and Ndidi is alongside Yuri Tielemans, who again, as I said, has the armband for this special occasion. In the forward attacking roles, Amendola Lookman, he lines up with James Madison and Harvey Barnes. In the front 3, they are supporting Kelechi Iheanacho for today for Nottingham Forest, that boasts a side with 2 Nigerians, an international from Ghana, Turkey, and Belgium today. There's also Welshmen involved for either side. There has been a lot of talk about this game, about will it be the main opportunity for either of these sides to win silverware this season. It's a real statement to be made for Leicester, who've been inconsistent this season in the league, but hoping to go and put it together for the Cup. For Nottingham Forest and their revival under Steve Cooper very much has the impossible job. That is the team lineups, and hopefully you'll hear a cracking game for us. As I've promised the guys, there's definitely going to be at least 16 goals in this game.
16 goals. Well, we'll hold you to that, Trevor. Thank you very much for the moment anyway. Earlier today, as you heard on the TC Hub, Liverpool beat Cardiff City by 3-1. One of the goals, a spectacular goal scored by Harvey Elliott, who came back today after a 5-month injury layoff. You remember he hurt himself in that game at Leeds, which we covered on the TC Hub. I had the unfortunate pleasure of commentating on him on that injury. Well, it was nice to see him back in good goal scoring form, and that was his first goal, incidentally, for Liverpool today. Jota getting one of the other goals, a great finish from Cardiff as well. But Harvey Elliott, one of the star turns that day. The 5th round draw has also been made. Here's the draw in full. Here it is. Luton Town are going to plum draw against last year's finalist Chelsea. Stoke City go to Crystal Palace. Peterborough pulled out a home tie with Manchester City, and a good one that is. Liverpool's reward is a home draw with Norwich at Anfield. Southampton play West Ham United, who knocked out Kidderminster to Harriers yesterday. Middlesbrough go to Tottenham Hotspur, their reward for knocking out Manchester United on Friday. And the game that we've got, Huddersfield Town are up for the winners of Notts Forest and Leicester City. Everton will play the winners of the later on's game between Bournemouth and Bourne Wood. And incidentally, if this game doesn't go to extra time, I will be on hand to commentate on that game as part of a bonus match, which you can hear tomorrow evening on the TC Hub. So you'll be able to hear a recording of that with my commentary on the TC Hub tomorrow evening for your listening pleasure. Right, and so let's bring in CW. We've got 8 minutes to kick off. Let's bring in CW for his thoughts. Firstly, on the draw, what do you make of the FA Cup draw as it stands at the moment?
I think it's a very wide open draw, to be fair. It's very much anyone's game. I love the fact that Bourne Wood could go to Goodison Park. That would be a really good tie for them. And Bournemouth, obviously, no pushovers. Luton at home to Chelsea. That is a difficult tie for Chelsea to negotiate. They can't take that one lightly. And I like...
Especially when Plymouth pushed them all the way yesterday, by the way.
Exactly. And I really like... Peterborough Man City's a fun one as well. But Middlesbrough versus Tottenham, I think, is going to be I feel like the tie of the round, that one. Because Middlesbrough, obviously, beating Manchester United. Yes, it was on penalties, but it was at Old Trafford. And Tottenham... Well, this is kind of their only major opportunity for silverware, I guess, at this point. So it's really going to be... There's quite a few teams that this is their only chance for silverware, so nobody's going to be taking it lightly. But that draw is particularly exciting. I love it.
Yeah, it's a good draw, that. And, of course, Peterborough, Manchester City. The last time they met in the Cup was actually at this stage back in 1981. Tommy Booth scoring the winner that day. Anyway, let's move on to today's match, and it's the cup holders in action today, CW. And, well, when the holders are in town, we have to get a top-notch commentary team in alongside the top-notch presenter, and which is me, obviously. But enough about me, and more on this game. This game really has the hallmarks of a classic cup confrontation. It's a local derby. There's about 20 miles between the two cities, Nottingham and Leicester. It is absolutely ram-jam packed. There's not going to be an empty seat in the house at kickoff. How do you think this game is absolutely going to go here today?
Well, it's a derby game, isn't it? Throw in the fact that it's an FA Cup match and literally anything can happen. I mean, it's both teams have got their major strikers missing. Jamie Vardy's not there for Leicester. Forest don't have Grabham. So it's anyone's game, really. And to be honest, it's the perfect scenario for a cup tie, because as much as Leicester are in the Premier League and Nottingham Forest are a Championship side, the FA Cup just blows away any kind of difference there, as proven over the last few days, particularly with Middlesbrough and Man United.
Absolutely, and this is why we love the FA Cup, Chris. It's the great leveler, isn't it? You know, it's like
absolutely,
yeah, it's brilliant. What do you think of the team news? I mean, Forest, of course, no Lewis Grabham due injury, obviously, as Trevor pointed out at the top of the show. That's going to be a huge blow for them because he came off the bench to put pay to them. But as for Leicester, they've got Yuri Tillemans there. He's going to be a huge presence for them. He's scored some cracking goals already this season, including one, of course, against Manchester United and another cracker against Brentford. So Forest will have to watch him. You think like a hawk, but interesting, really interesting from a Forest point of view. They'll have to keep their eyes on James Maddison. We were talking about him off air before we came on. And you pointed out you pointed his stats out, and we were talking how he doesn't get picked by Gareth Southgate. Is it the fact that he's maybe a too maverick a player, or is it the fact that just Southgate doesn't just fancy him altogether?
Well, fortunately, he plays the same position as Jack Grealish, doesn't he? So that's always going to be the fun selection choice there. Whoever gets picked out of those two, the other half's going to be outraged. But obviously, Forest missing Lewis Grabham and Leicester missing Jamie Vardy. They're the two kind of major levelers there. Keenan Davis is probably the guy to keep an eye on for Forest. Obviously, he joined at the start of the January window. He's got 2 goals in 4 games, which is a pretty good return rate straight away. So he's hit the ground running. And Maddison, as you say, his stats, 9 goals and 6 assists this season. It's definitely a guy to watch out for alongside Yuri Tillemans. And of course, Kelechi Iheanacho still looking to try and prove his worth to Leicester. He has scored some goals, but obviously that £25 million move from Manchester City, he was expected to be very much a great second option. And I think he's still got to lead up to that. Obviously, he has a few international appearances for Nigeria this year. Obviously, he's played 4 times for them, scored 1 goal. But I think he's still looking to prove himself at Leicester. And this would be a great opportunity to do so. If you banged in a couple of goals against Nottingham Forest in the FA Cup, I think you'd certainly be remembered fondly for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just said the teams are just about to come out, and we'll join Trevor in a second. But I've just seen a statistic on the television monitor there that Leicester have conceded the most set-piece goals in Premier League so far this season, Chris, with 17 goals. If you're Steve Cooper now, will this be a weakness that Forest could absolutely exploit in a cup tie with the weather conditions, the wind about, swirling wind? That has to be a factor when you factor it in when you're preparing for a game against Leicester, surely.
Absolutely. I think if you're Nottingham Forest, you're very much doing the Brian Clough approach, which is get it to somebody who's good on the ball and stick it in mixer and see what happens. And I think that's very much going to be the approach today.
Thank you very much, Chris. You go and get ready get ready for commentary with Trevor in just a second. Just a quick word about our friend and colleague Luke Turton, who's in the crowd here at the City Ground today. And we wish his team the very best of luck. We wish both teams the very best of luck as the teams come out to a raucous reception here at the City Ground. And with that in mind, let's get across to my commentary, to our 2 commentators, CW. But first, Trevor will take you through the team lineups and the game. Trevor, it's all yours.
Well, some have called this the impossible job. Since Brian Clough's departure, Nottingham Forest has spent just 4 seasons in the top flight and have never won a major trophy. Could Steve Cooper be about to turn that around? Well, we shall find out this evening. It's one of the great local derbies, this, the East Midlands derby between Leicester and Forest. Of course, both these sides have contrasting fortunes during the most dominant period of English football, particularly when Midlands football was key. And that was when Forest were 2 times European Cup winners and Aston Villa were taking the trophy just a couple of years later. Steve Cooper's tonight here for Nottingham Forest know that they've got a lot to do, so he's set the side up potentially looking to counter-attack. Bryce Samba is starting in goal for them today. They've got a back 3, and that is led by Joe Roll, Steve Cook, and of course sitting with his Scott McKenna, the Scottish international, who featured in the European Championships. A midfield for them is Dejid Spence, James Garner, Ryan Yates, and on the left of them is Max Lowe. And in the attacking roles for them today, Keenan Davis in the centre. To the right of him is Brendan Johnson. And to the left of him is Philip Zikanol. The substitutes, well, there's a lot of them to go. But want to notice Mohamed Surridge, who was signed on a last-minute deadline day loan. And hopefully this is the team which will be remembered fondly by Forest fans. As for Leicester fans, no Kasper Schmeichel today. So in comes the Welshman Danny Ward. The back 4 is set up with James Justin, Daniel Amarty, Kalga Soyuncu and young Luke Thomas making the back 4. Yuri Tielemans has the armband and has been Leicester's perhaps outstanding player this season alongside Wilfred Ndidi. James Maddison is in the attacking role alongside Ademola Lookman and Harvey Barnes, and Kelechi Iheanacho leads the starting lineup. Kasper Schmeichel, Mart Albrighton, Sergio Perez, Richarlison and Ricardo, and among others, make the bench for Leicester City today. For Nottingham Forest, well, they've already knocked out one Premier League side, so surely they know how to do this. As for Leicester City, well, they've never retained the FA Cup, but maybe there could be a chance to change all that. For Nottingham Forest, you have to go back to 1959 for the last time they were defending champions in the FA Cup. And we wait for our match official today, that is Paul Tierney, who will go ahead and get us underway. He does so. And as always, everyone here observing, everybody taking the knee. The City ground today is pretty much filled to capacity, just short of 30,000. There are 4,000 Leicester fans travelling from here, and straight away Nottingham Forest get us underway. They're attacking the Bridgeford stands to our right, which is where most of the Leicester away fans are situated today. And this is an early chance here for Dejan Spence, out on the right, looking to get an early cross in, up against Thomas, who's doing well. Gets a left-footed cross coming in. It's ended up being cleared away, not very comfortably there by Wilfred Ndidi. And there is the skipper, Joe Worrell, trying to win the ball forwards. Leicester City move forward again. And Worrell comes across and steals the ball all the way back to Bryce Samba. So for those that haven't heard, there are some primary colours at stake today. Forest in the red, Leicester in the blue. Who's going to take this match and be in move into the fifth round? I'm going to take that. I'll let my co-commentator here, CW, give us his predictions on the match.
Oh, just throw me under the bus with that question, Trevor. It could go anyway, to be honest. I mean, you made the prediction of 4-4 earlier. But it could well be like that. It really is anyone's game today. And the atmosphere is absolutely electric. My hairs are on their ends. It's really an electric atmosphere, and I absolutely love it. I can give you a prediction in maybe 89 minutes' time. That would be a bit more accurate, maybe.
Excellent. Well, we'll come back to Chris 30 seconds into time added on for his prediction. In the meantime, let's go ahead and enjoy the action. And some early touches for Leicester City. They're very comfortable to keep the ball in midfield. That's a little tip by Iheanacho that's been cut out at the moment there from Brennan Johnson, and Soyuncu clearing away to Maddison, who tries to use a bit of cunning to get past Joe Worrell. I think Joe Worrell just reminded him this isn't your usual Premier League game. This is going to be a proper derby game.
Yeah, the classic let them know you're there move, that one. Let's stick a foot in, make sure James Maddison doesn't get the chances to create anything. As I said, he's behind Jamie Vardy in terms of goal contributions this season. In fact, he's made more. I mean, Jamie Vardy's only got a couple of assists to his name, and I think 11 goals. So Maddison is the goal creating and scoring machine for Leicester. So you stop him, you stop Leicester, you'd think.
Well, here is Harvey Barnes over on the right-hand side. This is Maddison again. Lots talked about him. Barnes with good control, looking to cross it left-footed, floating in, but in the end, it's too close to Bryce Samba. Claims it in the middle of the goal. The goalkeeper today, wearing an all-white goalkeeper kit, similar to that worn by Arsenal, except we can make out the numbers on the back of his shirt. Don't envy any commentator having to do that game. One of the great things about the City grounds is the fact that they do have listed all the trophies that they have won around here. So you see things like the 1979 European Cup and Company. Does make you know that you are in the presence of a truly great football club that has lost its way in recent time. Here's Ndidi to Maddison for Leicester City. Early touch there for just loses it slightly. Iheanacho was just hoping for it. Garner gets it away, and in the end, the long clearance is made by Lowe. Marty there just tells Danny Ward there in the Leicester City goal just to wait and throw it across. Here's Soyuncu over on the left-hand side to the near side, and that's a poor touch in the end by Soyuncu. Really saw Luxon was short. This is Samba now. Now he's lost it around to Brennan Johnson, the Welshman, up against the Turkish International. Johnson's cross, good header away, straight away. And now it comes back and allows you to box, and it looks as if Yates was complaining, and Paul Tierney, the referee's given the decision against James Maddison. But straight away here, though, showing a bit of pace and creating a good cross there that made this opportunity.
Well, we said it earlier, get it in the mixer and see what happens, and all sorts of chaos going on. That's a clumsy challenge by Maddison to give away a cheap free kick. You shouldn't be putting your elbows up there. So Yeah, it's an early opportunity then. It's a bit of a freebie for Nottingham Forest. And if this goes in, I dread to think the state of the roof will be when if it hits the back of the net.
Well, Brennan Johnson is lining up over this. James Garner was, and he has backed away. Does look like it will be Johnson, the young Welshman, potentially right-footed to try and wrap it round the wall. We'll wait and see. There's Philip Zickenel, who was also looking as if he fancied it. I think he's been told very politely that this is going to have an opportunity. 4.5 minutes played at the City Ground. Nottingham Forest 0, Leicester City 0. Live here on the commentary hub. A free kick and a good opportunity for this young Welshman. What can he do here? He tries to curl one. It hits it straight against the wall. And eventually the rebound is cleared by Madison. Not terribly effectively. It's put back into the mixer there by McKenna as well. Justin's header down. Now this is Amendola Lookman. All the way back to Justin Tillemans. Clever little touch, just looking to feed the attacking player for Leicester City through. Wasn't able to do. There is Garner, little ball in. Keenan Davis out wide, early low cross. Soyuncu able to deal with that as Brennan Johnson was just looking to float through for Nottingham Forest. Now it's a chance for Leicester to move away. Wilfred Ndidi, early touch to Iheanacho. Madison outside of the foot across field to Luke Thomas. Harvey Barnes making a run into the channel. Up against him at the moment is Joe Worrell, the skipper. Barnes gets past him. Now it's a chance for Thomas across. Oh! And there was a chance for Clichy Iheanacho, who seemed to got his feet completely in a mix and has flashed a good opportunity wide.
Well, those are the kind of chances that if you want to dislodge Jamie Vardy as your regular striker, that you have to take. And he's just, I know it's his first chance of the game, but you've got to at least hit the target from that position. Clearly on his weaker foot. He's in loads of space. He might have even had time to take a touch there, but to blaze it that far wide, it's almost inexcusable, that one. Disappointment will be around the ground, but we're early doors still, so we'll call it a sighter.
Well, we've played 6 minutes here at the City Ground. We've had a chance apiece. So that 8-goal apiece thriller that I've predicted may just be coming true. We'll have to wait and see. Here's Dejan Spence to throw in, whose cross caused the problems earlier on, which Madison eventually committed the foul from. There was Keenan Davis just claiming, but Soyuncu for Leicester City just staying as the rock that we know he is. And now Davis comes and charging through. That's a mistake. And just for half a second, it looks as if Brennan Johnson had been able to get onto Daniel Amati's poor back pass. And Forest looked like they were in. Here is Barnes at the moment. A crossfield pass. Brilliant pass. Tillemans, he thought about the shot. He's played it into space. It's out to Justin to cross. And it's a great header away. Brilliant defending by Joe Worrell. And already at the moment, there are chances being made. And Tillemans just showing his vision, and that was very, very unlucky there for Leicester City.
Yeah, a touch of class from Tillemans with that one, but just about the captain defending really well there, Worrell. But goalkeeper just couldn't quite keep it in play, so danger's not over yet. It's a corner on this near side for Leicester, which, well, they're the team that concedes a lot from set pieces. They've got a chance to create an opportunity from one.
Well, it's taken short at the moment, and now it's a chance for Lookman, and he's dispossessed there by Spence. And Thomas tried to sort of play it back in to Madison, but it's a wayward pass that's gone out. And it will be a throw-in for Nottingham Forest. And Leicester has shown glimpses at the moment, but if you could look at their season, it has been glimpses at the moment. Never consistent enough to challenge in the league, just missing out on Champions League football in the end. At the same time as well for Leicester, though, they do have that trophy to their name. Speaking to both managers, Brendan Rodgers said today that they have to show no fear playing in this derby with the big City Ground sitting behind them. Steve Cooper, the Nottingham Forest man, said today that they really, really want this. And you could see that very much in the performance of Joe Worrell as his clearance goes long. And it's fallen kindly there for Dejan Spence. This is Ndidi. Thomas. Early touch for him. It hits Brennan Johnson. It's floating up in the air. Always known to have a real gust of wind here. Stands right by the River Trent. Here's Philip Zickenel, number 11. Just loses out. This is Amendola Lookman. And he's not able to get past 3 red shirts. Davis for Nottingham Forest. Early chance. Max Lowe cuts in the end by Amati. And Ndidi gets it away. Now it's Madison looking to play an early ball through. And it looks for a second that Iheanacho was through. But Scott McKenna was across. And Paul Tierney's going to pull play back for this foul, which Leicester take quickly. Sointu places it on the near side to Luke Thomas to move the ball forwards. Now it's Barnes passing the ball back into Leicester City's half. It's Daniel Armati just centre of the pitch, slightly out well to James Justin. Obvious press at the moment from Nottingham Forest, who are really starting to put Leicester under pressure. Danny Ward to play it back into Justin. Can Leicester play their way out of trouble? Here's Tielemans. Goes down the line. An excellent ball down the line, it has to be said. And now it's an opportunity for Leicester City to run. And the passing wasn't great by Nenacci, but he's got the ball inside the area again. He squares it back off to Ndidi. Now it's Harvey Barnes. He wants to get it under his right foot. He's brought it back for Thomas on the left. Back for Barnes, who's missed control. Let him down, really, at that opportunity. But Leicester showing glimpses and promise that they might just be able to find the key to unlock this Forest defence.
Yeah, well, Forest, as we've shown at the start, lined up in that attacking 3-4-3 formation. So Leicester will look to exploit the wings as much as possible, which they have sort of been doing early doors. And the high pressure from Forest can easily be unlocked if they can play it around them. So it's very much the tactic that Leicester seem to be going for, which is encourage the press and try and get over it. But after 10 minutes, it's still fairly even, but Leicester have certainly warmed up a bit in the last couple of minutes.
Oh, good control by Lookman. Tries to get the crossing corner. And the corner is conceded by Scott McKenna, the Scottish international, who played against the Czech Republic at Hampden Park, European Championships. There'll always be the conflict that Scotland and Wales have both got 2 semi-final playoffs. If they can win both of those, then Scotland or Wales will play each other for a place in the finals to get to the World Cup in Qatar later on this year. Seems a long way away off now because we're still in the 4th round of the FA Cup. Free kick is taken short. It's Lookman! Oh! It took a deflection. The corner's been given. That looked like a set-piece routine taken straight out of the training ground. And Amendola Lookman's efforts, well, what happens here? He gets to it, and it's eventually blocked by James Garner.
That's a great defensive block last second. That deflection could have gone absolutely anywhere, but either way, it did its job.
Madison takes. There's a couple of pigeons have just landed on the pitch as all the players have ran forward. Sointu is forward going for the near post. It's floated to the far post. It's headed away. Only as far in the end as Dejan Spence, who tries to get on the left foot and can't. And now Ndidi, Madison's cross. And it is headed away just about. This is Amendola Lookman now, number 37, on his opposite flank to where he started, on his right foot, looking to cross the ball into the area. It's another almost panic-like clearance from Forest, but it has been got away. And Luke Thomas, not for the first time, has miscontrolled and the effort's gone away. And those of you that maybe you are remembering the previous game between Forest and Leicester did see an early substitution after a poor performance that evening. And so far, it is going to be interesting to see whether Thomas can find his feet, because he's looked a little bit nervous today, the young man. Maybe the occasion is very much getting to him. McKenna's long header. And there is Lookman, who tried to go early, but was pulled up in the end for the foul. And poor Tierney able to see the funny side of that effort. So
the referee just having a laugh there. I thought it was like, you missed anyway. So, shouldn't be complaining too much.
Bryce Samba's long click. We're just coming up to 30 minutes. Nottingham Forest 0, Leicester City 0. We're live here on the TC Hub. And thank you very much for joining us, and hope you'll keep with us as we keep you our alternative exclusive FA Cup coverage. This is Dejan Spence moving forward again. Past Lookman. That's a teasing ball into the area. It hit Armati that was cleared. And eventually it'll just be a throw-in. And Thomas has redeemed himself. But at the moment, Dejan Spence is causing the left back for Leicester City a lot of problems. He stands over at the moment to take the throw. And Forest getting ready to go. They're attacking the Bridgeford stand to my right. For those of you watching on telly, the stand you see right in front of you is the Brian Clough stand. We're in the Peter Taylor stand here in the gantry today. And Leicester at the moment are attacking the Trent end. There is Lowe. Touch maintained by Zikanor. Here's Garner. Good spell of possession at the moment. This is by Forest. Worrell. Early ball into Johnson. Spence loses it. Thomas. Good challenge by him. He'll do his confidence the world of good at the moment. Now it's out wide at the moment to Harvey Barnes. He's up against Worrell. He's past Worrell. It's still Barnes. Oh, sliding at the far post was Amadona Lookman, who just couldn't get there. But that was excellent football by Leicester City.
It was indeed that ever so close opportunity. Echoes of Gascoigne in '96. Very close. If its stats were longer, that would be 1-0. It's great work by Harvey Barnes as well. Turned Royal inside out. The delivery was inch perfect. It's just a shame that I think it was Iheanacho in the end that couldn't quite get on the end of it. It's very close.
Yeah, Amadona Lookman just not far from there. One master question though, had Jamie Vardy been on the pitch, would he have seen that? Because sometimes the art of being a centre forward is anticipation as it is being able to finish. And it's that instinct which top centre forwards have. So Brendan Rodgers, some have said he could be lined up to be the Manchester United manager coming up in time. The man that won the domestic treble twice in a row with Celtic and led Leicester to their very first ever FA Cup. An outstanding resume. And let's not forget, he was a slip away from winning the league with Liverpool all those years ago. Soyuncu was forward again as Leicester continued to put the pressure on. Thomas and Maddison over this free kick. No, that's not a law firm, I said. That's Luke Thomas or James Maddison. It is the latter to swing the ball in. It's headed away. And McKenna dives in. And now Leicester City continue to put the pressure in once again. Justin left-footed all the way across to Maddison. Over on the far-hand side. Now into the channel is Iheanacho. Back again to Tielemans. Iheanacho. Tielemans again. A lot of space for him to provide across. 3 in the area. A foul called. And it looks as if the foul there, the guilty partner, is Philip Ziganol, who came in and just clipped Yuri Tielemans. That's a Denmark man just clattering into a Belgian man. It's all got a little bit of Viking spirit between those two.
I thought that was a fair shoulder charge, that one. They're both sort of running into it. They've both charged shoulder first into one another. I think Tielemans... I mean, it's a 50-50 call, that one, to be fair. So take your pick for that one.
So free kick, and it'll be James Maddison to take. Looking to swing when Soyuncu is forward. Ndidi, Barnes, Amado and Lookman just hanging over the edge of the area. Daniel Amati is also forwards. Maddison swings the free kick in. It's punched away by Samba, and it needed to be. It was in a dangerous area, and now that is a looped effort by Tielemans, which has gone out. But James Maddison certainly showing that his ability to deliver a ball from a set piece could be causing Forest trouble today.
Yeah, as mentioned earlier, he is probably the danger man, and set pieces is definitely something that he will look to exploit. It's Forest just keeping on top of him for the time being as they look to break. Well, they were going to break away here, but that ball's gone too long. It's it's certainly been. It's sort of 5-minute spells for either side. First it was Forest, then it was Leicester, then it was Forest again, and now it could be was going Leicester's way, but Spence on this near side's got a chance to go forward now.
Well, it's gone out for a throw-in, and certainly Dejan Spence is targeting young Luke Thomas on that left-hand side. And a good experience being used by Spence, wearing number 2, but essentially playing a right midfield role today. And that sort of 3-4-3 formation that Steve Cooper has introduced. So they look to try and exploit areas of the pitch where they can. Was that? No, it was indeed. It was Ryan Yates who was caught by Harvey Barnes. So referee brings play to a halt and a free kick available for Nottingham Forest. For Tierney, of course. Very much a well-respected and regarded referee. And in this situation here, I think that was a case of Harvey Barnes just leaping in and perhaps getting a little too involved, and a little bit of afters by Yates, but what one expects from a derby, East Midlands. And we're 18 minutes into the match. Nottingham Forest 0, Leicester City 0. James Garner, formerly of Manchester United, standing over this and looking to cross the ball into the area. Spencer's left it. In it goes. It's looping towards the far post. Header is down. Just headed away, and it could be a chance, but it's been got away. And it's laying the area towards Davis. On the left foot! Oh, he hits the bar! Would you believe it? Keenan Davis, formerly of Aston Villa's left-footed effort, strikes the bar. Forest exploiting Leicester's ability to deal with set pieces, and they very nearly broke the deadlock.
Oh, it was a great effort. He's been in hot form since joining on loan from Villa, and he was ever so close here. The technique was inch perfect, chest control, brilliant, left-footed strike before it's even hit the floor. He's so unlucky. If that goes in the back of the net, you've got a goal of the tournament contender right there. So unlucky, but that's been the best chance of the game so far.
Keenan Davis there, showing from that replay, his eyes completely focused on nothing but the ball. Great something that youngsters can learn from. Here's Maddison breaking away from Leicester City, looking to make sure that that miss is punished. And that's what top quality sides do. Barnes on the right foot, low ball, linked inside. That's a beautiful looking turn. They're appealing for a penalty, not given. The appeal there was for the challenge in the end, but it wasn't given. And no penalty, and probably the right decision. It's a clever ball into the box. And referee just waiting. And I think some of the players just halting, wondering if VAR was going to be called into a factor. But are we? But of course, we're at a championship side, aren't we?
Yep, no VAR here today, which I think is wonderful news.
Well, I have to say completely impartial on that. But as my mum taught me, if you've got nothing good to say, don't see anything at all.
Indeed.
Here's Iheanacho moving forward. I can talk about the football, though. That's what I'm paid to do. Zikanol passing the ball that wide as well. Here's Johnson. Heavy first touch by him, but Barnes isn't able to deal with that. Here is Max Lowe with the armband today. Passes it back to his goalkeeper, Bryce Samba. There's the clearance out wide. That's his McKenna. Left-footed efforts just gone out, and Leicester City will now have a throw-in. And certainly don't look comfortable on the ball when they've got it to feet here, the defenders today. Oh, it's an early pulled into Ndidi. There goes Lowe across, heading the ball away. And Iheanacho, good control by him. Maddison, now back to James Justin. Yuri Tielemans, under pressure. Here's Thomas. Leicester passing the ball backwards towards the centre circle. Soyuncu, now it's into their own half. Daniel Amati brings it forward into the final third of the pitch. Continues to go Amati, looking to play in Iheanacho, who's controlled, just let him down. This is Keenan Davis moving away for Nottingham Forest, who has just hit the woodwork today. He's got past Ndidi, good skill by him. James Justin comes in, good strength shown by both players. There's James Garner, and the throw-in has been awarded to Nottingham Forest before Garner could look to play it in. But Keenan Davis has shown himself to be a bit of a handful thus far for the Leicester City defenders.
He has. He's shown great strength there to retain possession. It's gone out for a throw, obviously, but in Nottingham Forest's favour. But he has been a shining light for Nottingham Forest since joining on loan, and he definitely is the man to watch on Nottingham Forest side, because as shown with that crossbar effort earlier, he really is on it from start to finish. And those pigeons are going to be on it if they're not careful. I wonder what the odds are of them being hit by the ball.
Probably 4-1. Here is Spence. Johnson looking to cross the ball. Looking to get it towards Davis. Headers back down. And there is the opening goal. It has arrived through Philip Zikanoglu. He's able to finish. Good work by Davis, heading the ball back down. And Nottingham Forest lead in the 23rd minute of the first half. The breakthrough has come, and we really do have a game on now. The City ground is absolutely raucous. Lovely, well-worked goal. Zikanoglu was there to finish. And so far for Steve Cooper, this is 100% going to plan.
Well, it's brilliant build-up play. The header down is fantastic, but that's a bit of Premier League class as well. The man on loan from Watford, fantastic finish. And the City ground, well, it's been raucous from the start, but after that goal, you're going to have to nail the roof down again.
There was Johnson. Keenan's header down. Zikanoglu just showing the killer instinct to be in the key place when required. The man that got the key goal in the previous round. There he goes again, finishing. Just look at this. The strength here.
Two low knees combining well.
Look at that. Lovely moments.
The cushioned header was perfect. The header down was perfect. It's just got score me all over. It's excellent finish. And we do have an early goal, which on these kind of occasions is always great, because it may well open the floodgates. 4-4 still on.
Well, we can wish and see. And then we've got another goal! Would you believe that? Out of nowhere, a second goal arrived. It's the young Welshman, Brendan Johnson. Forest have scored again pretty much straight from the kickoff. This is incredible. Forest lead 2-0. And suddenly Leicester I'd love to see what happened there because we were watching a replay. We turned to our cameras. We turned back to the pitch. Johnson's through and he scored. What on earth happened here? Well, let's have a look. Here's Zickenal, 30 touch into Davis. Lays it all the way back. Lowe has the pace here to get it in between Justin and Armati. And it's a poor pass by Daniel Armati. Johnson seals on it and rolls the ball in. Incredible!
Oh, Marty with the hospital back pass that sent him into the critical care ward with that one. Terrible back pass. Johnson, nutmegs the goalkeeper for good measure. That is an absolute blunder from the Leicester defence. And, now they're really up against it. 2 quick-fire goals for Forest. The roof is off. There's no disputing that now. Incredible.
Well, having that goal runs him very much. We've just seen another effort flash wide due to the replay, but having that goal in very much remind me of Mark Hughes' 3rd goal in the 94 FA Cup final, which was missed on TV. We saw just as the ball was kicked into the back of the net. Still watching Eric Cantona's penalty being played on the replay. Here today, the 2nd goal's gone in. It's Brennan Johnson, and a magical minute for Forest means they have a 2-0 advantage. And they really do have a base to build upon. For Leicester City, a reminder of what they need to do if they were to go and get through to the 5th round. 2 goals for them between now and the 90 minutes would take the match through to extra time. We would play 30 minutes of extra time. Then after that, if we cannot get a result, we would go and settle this match on a penalty competition. For Nottingham Forest here, though, today, what do they need to do? Probably keep things as they are. Forest themselves will be absolutely cock-a-hoot with that. Those 2 goals in 2 minutes completely turned the match around. Philip Zickenal with a goal and Brennan Johnson, a man from Denmark and a man from Wales, helping the side from England beat their local rivals. Is Iheanacho having to pass the ball back, and a poor pass. Davis, who's looked a real handful when he's got the ball and able to control and that physical presence, and he looks really pumped up for this. Armati, who may want to forget the last couple of minutes have happened. James Justin trying to move forward. Looks like he was just tripped by Zickenal, who I suspect there was slightly more an edge of a professional element to that foul. Still, though, we stand with the game at 2-0. And looked like that was just a clever foul, you could call it, Chris.
Well, he's lucky to get away without a booking on that one because Leicester were away. The referees turned a blind eye to that one. Maybe it's just the first one they'll let go, but tactical foul, definitely that one.
Referee Paul Tierney, he's not usually one to have the wall pulled over him, but looked like he was slightly there. We shall wait and see. Is he going to allow the game to go on? And there is the wonderful header back from Joe Worrell, getting it all the way back to Bryce Samba. That's quite brilliant. And on the bench for Leicester today is their club captain, Kasper Schmeichel, who don't think there's too much he could hold against Danny Ward, particularly for the 2nd goal. Should never have been in that position. Forest, on the other hand, were just slightly called out. Ryan Yates was under pressure from James Maddison, but it hasn't blown away. We played 28 minutes in the first half. If you're just tuning in, this is alternative exclusive commentary on the FA Cup, and you're watching the match between Nottingham Forest and Leicester City. Forest at the moment are 2-0 up. Goals arriving in the end by a lovely, well-worked set piece. Eventually finished by Philip Zickenal, headering back from Keenan Davis's effort. The young Brennan Johnson with the 2nd goal after a poor back pass, a hospital back pass, as it's been known as, by Daniel Armati. And Leicester City here have another free kick to defend. James Garner is standing over. It's over on the near side, just about halfway across from the ends of the centre circle. There are the Leicester City supporters jumping for joy at the moment in the Bridgeford stand, which does house all the away supporters. Right behind him, you can see there those in the Peter Taylor stand singing away. Garner getting ready. Lowe has come forward for this. So was Worrell. The free kick's in towards the far post. It's beaten everybody but Spence. Now it's Johnson for Forest. Passed all the way back across goal. Lovely first touch by Garner. Zickenal to cross the ball into the area. Barnes is across. Soyuncu's able to clear it and looks to go down the line, but it's not a very good clearance. Now at the moment is Spence up against Maddison. Just cut out by Wilfred and Didi, but not successfully. Zickenor again, just being a real nuisance, and sometimes being a nuisance is just that. Clever pass. Could be a crossing opportunity. Good block by Thomas as Spence came in with excellent vision for the pass to send through to Spence.
That
And
was some
Forest at the moment are
fantastic.
playing some great football.
It was some fantastic one-touch football that from Forest. Unbelievable. Not Leicester couldn't get a toe in. It was ridiculous. It's wonder if Nottingham Forest are just thinking about the last time these two met in the FA Cup 10 years ago. Leicester won 4-0 that day with Beckford grabbing a hat-trick along with George Boateng own goal. At 2-0, they're probably thinking maybe we can get our own back for that one.
Yeah, the FA Cup third round replay indeed. Last two times that these guys have actually only met once before in the FA Cup before that. And for that, you've got to go back to 1901, which Nottingham Forest won 5-1. So the odds are we are going to get goals today if we've got past the first nil-niller. Now, Forest getting set for them at the moment. There is Steve Cook standing ready. James Garner is ready. The referee here is just overseeing. There's a second ball that's been thrown on. It's now been got rid of. Standing set and ready to take the corner here for Nottingham Forest. With James Garner, number 37, crosses it into the middle of the goal, and it was just a big opportunity in the end for Ryan Yates that dived forward and just couldn't quite get there. It's kept in play at the moment. The cross at the back. Here's Johnson. Lovely skill by Johnson. A lovely skill by Johnson. Back to low, back to Johnson. Diving in. Low effort! And it's just gone wide. Right in front of goal. Yates has had it. Ward is completely frustrated. Philip Ziganego again was so close. Wonderful football being played, but look at this by Yates, diving in, the header. Oh, it's just hit his shoulder. He's just taking his eyes off it, I suspect, for 2 seconds. And then Johnson's 1-2 exchange at the moment with Worrell, and that's an excellent save in the end by Ward.
Yeah, ever so close to 3-0. Nottingham Forest really got their foot on the gas right now.
And they've got their foot on the gas even further. The captain has scored. Joe Worrell heads the ball down. Nottingham Forest 3, Leicester City 0. They're in dreamland at the City Ground. 32nd minute of the first half plays. It's 3-0 Nottingham Forest. And even the captain's getting involved. And it's another set piece that Leicester have conceded from.
Well, you said it. Set pieces has been Leicester's weakness this season and exploited once again. The captain leading from the back at the right end of the pitch as well. It's a wonderful delivery. Perfect. It's got "head me" written all over it. And he's headed it down into the ground. It's got all kinds of spin on it. It's avoided the goalkeeper. It's avoided Tillemans on the line. It's pinpoint accuracy with that one. And, well, we're in dreamland right now. Well, you are if you're a Forest fan. If you're a Leicester fan, this is a nightmare. And we're only half an hour into this match. There's still another hour of football to go. It's, anything can happen in the FA Cup, especially in derbies. And this is exactly what we've all been looking for. A shock. And 3-0 after half an hour. I'm not sure many people would have put the odds on that scoreline.
Well, football can be a funny old game. It just goes to show you the magic of the cup. The side from the division below can really step up. And sometimes football is about playing the occasion just as much as about playing the team in front of you. Forest have risen to the occasion today. Brendan Rodgers really has his work cut out now. The holders of the cup are 3-0 down. And we are getting set to play the final 13 minutes of the first half. And Leicester really do have it all to do if they are to go and make their way through to the 5th round. At the moment, that's where Forest are getting. There's Yates, Davis. Good control by Davis, just loses it. Peels for a free kick, not given. Garner just trying to look in and play Low out on the left-hand side. Low's got there. Justin makes the interception. There's the clearance away. I'm going to tell you what, for those that you are tuning in, if you were to go do a Master League or a career mode, I think Forest would be a good choice at the moment. Promising young side that they're putting together. Here we're getting ready to take the throw in will be Max Lowe, number 15. Ziganagel is standing near to him. The throw is to Ziganagel. Now it is all the way back to Garner. Davis, lovely control from him. He's just using his strength brilliantly. And there goes a bit of fight from Tillemans, but he's cleared the ball away, only for a throw. The final third of the pitch remains Nottingham Forest, and there remains a very, very happy Nottingham Forest fan. Of course, some have called this the impossible job. Since Brian Clough retired in the first season of the Premier League in May 1993, since then, Forest has spent just 4 seasons in the top flight, relegated in 2005, and relegated from the Championship, relegated from the Premier League in 1999, relegated from the Championship in 2005. Many men have tried, many men have not been able to do so, but it looks as if Steve Cooper might just be on the verge of doing something. Former international who was told he'd make a much better coach than a professional footballer. Well, at the moment, it's showing because he's putting together some outstanding sequences of results in the cup this season. Here is Spence just losing it to Thomas that goes long, and there'll be a chase for Amati, and there is McKenna, Tielemans, Lookman, Justin moving it forward for Leicester City, who are 3-0 down, and we're about 10 minutes away from the first half concluding. And miscommunication awry, and Justin's pass has gone out. And with 10 minutes to go in the first half, I've got to ask you, Chris, what have Forest done so well to be 3-0 up at the moment? Well, we seem to have lost my co-commentator. Who just told me that he's just managed to drop his microphone in his tea. So if you do want to just sort of remind him that you shouldn't put your microphone in your tea, please do so. I'll continue with the one microphone that's not giving out electric shocks at the moment. Ndidi back towards Nottingham Forest 3, Leicester City 0. Live commentary here on the TC Hub, exclusive alternate commentary, giving you a glimpse into the future, what sports commentary will be like here on the TC Hub. And what an afternoon of football we have been presented with today. Liverpool through, and again, the side that wins this today, they'll be home again, and they will be at home to a travelling Huddersfield that are also through. So real incentive, particularly for Forest, if they can hold out. Another game at the City grounds, and they could be looking potentially at the quarter-finals. It looks like just as slightly Joe Worrell's caught. P. Tierney sought it. Joe Worrell's header really does compound a brilliant sort of couple of moments in this contest at the moment. And this has been one of the most outstanding results that we have seen for a long, long time in terms of what we're going to get footballing-wise. You wouldn't have predicted Forest to be 3-0 up. What I will say, though, is my prediction for the 4-4 draw is still underway. There's Davis, good control, using his strength brilliantly, trying to find the effort on the left foot to clear it away. Amati's got it away, and it will be a corner. And Leicester here really have to hope that this there don't pick themselves into any more trouble, because at the moment they're really struggling at the moment. Well, we should just wait for this set piece to conclude, and when we do, I shall bring in my colleague with me today, who's promised me he's managed to get his microphone out of his tea and working again for his views. But we'll just wait for this corner to just see what happens. What a game, what a time to come to your first game, if it is your first game. Garner to take the corner, floats it in towards the far post. Forest player goes down, it's Soy Chu. Foul has been called. It looks as if there that Steve Cook just caught him. Now I can ask you again, Chris, what do you think Forest have done so well today to be 3-0 ahead?
Well, they've just been the sharper side. They've reacted quickest to things. They've played the press really well. They just haven't let Leicester get the ball down and play with it. So they've just kind of smothered Leicester into submission here, and obviously capitalised on the mistake for the second goal. And set piece, obviously, they exploited the set piece weakness. And obviously getting the opening goal always has a way of swinging the momentum. So, yeah, Nottingham Forest have been top class today, and Leicester haven't really been at the races so far, let's be honest. So, a lot of work to do at half-time for Brendan Rodgers, I think.
Well, 4 shots on target for Forest. You've just seen there in the top left of your screen. Scored from 3 of them, so very good conversion ratio for Brendan Rodgers. Well, his side have yet to test Bryce Samba, the man from Congo. Wonder if they can do so just before half-time. I'm sure Leicester be thinking, get one back here, and just changes the context of the match in the second half. Bryce Samba picks the ball up, the goalkeeper for Forest, right in front of the Trent end. Forest fans are in good voice today, and justifiably so. Those tuning in, where you've seen an outstanding couple of minutes of play in which Forest went from being level to 2 goals ahead. Goal scored by Vidit Zikanul, and then there was a hospital pass by Marty that was captured on and headed in by Brennan Johnson. And then the captains got involved. Joe Worrell, his brilliant header from a corner. Couldn't be more better place. And now come Forest again. Zikanul moving forwards. Keenan Davis, good touch onto the right foot. Spence, good save by Ward. Spencer's effort, right-footed. If he'd gone with the laces, had he been able to test Danny Ward even further. That's the 5th shot on target for Forest in this match. Zikanul looking for Davis. Indeed, he's got to get there. Luke Thomas is under pressure. Yates is putting him under pressure. Now it's an opportunity for Leicester to break. Madison playing the ball forward into space. Sambo's come out a long way. Here's the chance for Iheanacho! It's another goal! Leicester City have one back. That's just, you think, what they need for the moment. What on earth was Bryce Samba doing? He's got it all wrong. And suddenly it's looking very comfortable. Now it's looking a little bit shaky. Leicester City have their foot in the door and are back in this contest. And it's a goal pretty much from nothing after a lot of Forest pressure scored by Clichy and Nacho.
Well, this is just what they needed just before half-time, a goal to give them a bit of momentum. It's something to build on, but the goalkeeper has got this all wrong. So, well, once he was out that far, he was committed, and unfortunately, he missed it, which left Iheanacho the easiest goal he'll ever score. Pigeon nearly got in the way as well. So all sorts of TV gaffes, that one. That's not one for Samba to look back on. It's a real goalkeeping gaff, that one.
Yeah, almost caught the pigeon. In the end, though, he's caught Nottingham Forest cold. After they're pushing forward, Iheanacho strikes. We've had 4 goals in the first 40 minutes of this contest. You know that our scoreline prediction is still very much on at the moment. A reminder here today, we have to play this match to a finish. So at the end of this, if our teams are level, and we're a long way off that right at the moment, we will move to extra time. And then if there is no deciding winner in that, there will be a penalty competition. Replays have been scrapped for the 3rd and 4th round this season. Of course, they've been scrapped permanently from the 5th round onwards. Here's Barnes for Leicester City. Madison. Little spring in Leicester's step at the moment. Thomas trying to play Barnes into space. There goes there goes Worrell at the moment, and Spence coming in. And referee Paul Tierney called for the foul on Barnes. And you can see there Joe Worrell saying that was shoulder to shoulder. But is it for the tackle by Spence on Barnes?
Difficult on that one. It was a bit of a sandwich, but one of them didn't get the ball, so that's probably why it's been given.
Well, James Madison is standing set with his free kick. Soenchio is forwards. There goes Ndidi also sitting right on the edge of the 6-yard box. Madison is forward now. There goes Barnes. It's the cross to... I thought Madison was going for goal then. I guess he was. In the end, it's floated aimlessly over Bryce Samba's bar. Leicester City scoring with their only shot on goal. The score is 3-1 at the moment if you just tune in. Nottingham Forest are ahead at the City grounds. Of course, they're playing Nottingham Forest. They're 2 times FA Cup winners against Leicester City, who are the current holders. And that's a special FA Cup final they had. The first to have the return of fans at Wembley after the horrible pandemic. Might only have been 20,000 fans. It would have felt like 200,000 that afternoon. And that was the day in which Leicester beat what turned out to be the European champions, as Chelsea went ahead and won the European Cup just a week later. Headed down by McKenna. This is Tielemans. Out wide is Justin. Marked by Vidit Zikanul. Now it's Tielemans. Clever little pass back to Soenchio right on the kickoff point. Madison looking to play the ball forwards at the moment for Thomas, who's lost it. Spence. Now it's been clicked forward by Yates. Giving the chase at the moment is Johnson on Soenchio for Leicester City. He plays it back into the area. Now Danny Ward for Leicester City. Plays it coolly and calmly down to his left-hand side towards Soenchio. Now on to Reiter on the byline is Madison. Starts to move in still. Right-footed. Rolls the ball across. Daniel Amati. He'll be hoping that horrible mistake by him doesn't cost his side a chance to continue in the FA Cup. Here's Wilfred Ndidi. Clever pass to Madison, who looks for the opportunity. Can't see an option on, and that's good work at the moment by Nottingham Forest. Ryan Yates and Brennan Johnson putting on a good press. And Didi Lookman there. Now over the cross to Tielemans. Iheanacho. Thomas wants it and has got it out wide. Now this is Madison looking to flick the ball through, and just for a second looked as if there was a chance. It was a clever idea though from James Madison, who's just starting to find his range at the moment.
He is. He's going to be the man that gets Leicester back into this game. But it's going to be an interesting team talk at half-time for both teams. Obviously, Forest will be really annoyed, and they'll have to get over that mistake that led to Leicester's goal. Leicester, on the other hand, they'll be like, right, this is it. We've got one. Let's get two more and see what we can do from there.
Well, Daniel Amati's header wasn't perfectly accurate, but it's been picked up by Danny Ward. We wait to see how much time will be added on at the end of the first half. First half, which has gone completely to script for Steve Cooper's Nottingham Forest, who leads by 3-1. Here's Amati for Leicester. James Justin looks to play the ball forward and long down the line. It'll be a chase, which Cook is there, and Steve Cook does well. And just steals of Amati. 3 minutes of time added on is signalled by the fourth official. And a long ball over the top for Davis. And has he got the pace to get there ahead of Justin? Either way, I think the referee is going to give a goal kick because Davis got the last touch. But Keenan Davis is starting to show himself to be a little bit of a player and a real handful for Leicester. Well, you can see running back there that's... that was a rather interesting moment. Interesting stat for you folks. Clichy Iheanacho extends his record as the highest scoring African player in FA Cup history with his 15th goal. There you go. Who says that we don't bring you the important facts and figures? For Forest, though, the important fact for them is they're 3-1 up. And with 3 minutes of time added on, it looks like they're just going to see this match out. James Garner is down, holding the back of his head, needing a bit of attention. Hopefully nothing too serious. There goes a couple of the trainers on. And we now get ready to just play out the last few moments of this app. And we can see from Garner, what was it? Oh, it's his own player that landed on him. Oh, that does look like that's going to cause quite a degree of discomfort. The young man formerly of Manchester United, who has been impressive today, but it looks as if his player caught all his weight on the back of his neck. Steve Cooper, you can just sort of see along the dugout, just getting word to find out from his medical staff just whether the match will result from a substitution. Doesn't look like it. Looks like young Garner's going to be able to get back up and continue. Did take a right knock to the back of the head, but it's getting an excellent round of applause from faithful here in the City grounds. He brings himself off, and we have a minute to go of time added on. I suspect there'll probably be a little bit more time that is played on for that stoppage. Here's Ndidi. Now Madison. Thomas ahead of him. Barnes out wide. This is Harvey Barnes now. Up against Spence, looking to play the ball. There is the clearance made by Worrell. And now Johnson looking to try and break for Forest. Cannot do so. Here is Madison. Clever pass. Does Tielemans fancy a hit? No, he just fancied a pass into Amendola Lookman, but just couldn't quite direct it. Soyuncu intercepts. Leicester putting the pressure on in the final few moments of this half. There's a mistake at the moment that gets Leicester City into this contest. Here's Yates. That's an excellent ball. Looking for Johnson. Good challenge by James Justin. Now Garner, who's back on. Max Lowe, left-footed. Great little pass. This is good spell of possession Forest have had and to continue with the ball. Here is Johnson. Zickernagel. Garner. Back to Zickernagel again. Forest just looking to try and pass their way through and finish the half off. Leicester themselves still sort of putting the pressure on. And there goes Samba's pass into Joe Worrell, who's got the armband today. And Samba's clearance is floating high and around, and Soyuncu has his eyes on the ball all day long. Yates' pass is miscontrolled. There goes McKenna. And now it's Ndidi for Leicester City. Madison. Lookman. Good challenge in the end by Lowe. Great little pass out wide. Now it's Keenan Davis. The flag has gone up. He's offside. Flag went up really quickly, and that's the advantage of no VAR. And that ends the first half of what has been a quite outstanding first half of football that we have seen here today. An incredible couple of minutes for Nottingham Forest, especially when Brennan Johnson scored, and an excellent header by Joe Rule made the advantage almost in doubt. Forest leading by 3. Iheanacho capitalised on some terrible defending by the goalkeeper Bryce Samba, who slot the ball in at the halfway mark in the City ground. It is Nottingham Forest 3, Leicester City 1.
Thanks very much, Trevor. Hopefully we'll get CW back a little bit later on as well. He's having technical difficulties with his headset, so we'll hopefully we'll get him back for the second half. So 3-1 at half time then. Nottingham Forest putting Leicester City to the sword. Leicester City really lambs to the slaughter this afternoon in the FA Cup. 3-1 they lead. Earlier today, Liverpool 3, Cardiff City 1. We'll tell you a bit more about that. So Iheanacho, Johnson and Worrell all within the first 32 minutes. And then Iheanacho pulling one back after 40 minutes. It's been a terrific first half of proper FA Cup football. And who knows what might happen now in the next 45 minutes. Right, let's get you... Right, before we go any further, let's bring you bang up to date what's been happening in the FA Cup this weekend. Of course, we started our action as far back as Friday, of course, with that marathon fourth round game at Old Trafford between Manchester United and Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough winning 8-7 on penalties. They bagged a home draw with Tottenham Hotspur. Yesterday's results: Chelsea 2, Plymouth Argyle 1 after extra time. Kidderminster Harriers 1, West Ham United 2. So both Plymouth and Kidderminster have just cause to go away from those, feeling rather annoyed about things, because they really gave Chelsea and West Ham respectively a bit of a scare. Crystal Palace are through, comfortable 2-0 winners over Hartlepool United, who knocked out Blackpool in the round before. Frank Lampard's first match as Everton manager got off to a very good start yesterday as they defeated Thomas Frank's Brentford by 4-1. Mina, Richarlison, Holgate and Townsend were the goal scorers, even Tony with a penalty after 54 minutes. And the All Yorkshire affair, this is who Nottingham Forest or Leicester City. It looks like Nottingham Forest, the way things are at half-time, could be facing Huddersfield Town, or the team that they could well be facing. They beat Barnsley in an all-championship Yorkshire game. Holmes with a goal on 19 minutes, proving more than enough in that one. Manchester City, one of the red-hot favourites, they got past top of the championship Fulham with no problems at all. Or Carvalho put the championship side ahead on 4 minutes. 2 minutes later, Gundogan equalised. Stones then, a few minutes later, on the 13th minute mark, put Manchester City back in front. Then Mahrez with a brace, one from the penalties with a brace, a 5-minute brace, one after 53 minutes for a penalty. The second, coming after 57 minutes. And Manchester City safely through, and they play Peterborough, who in turn beat QPR by 2-0. Ward and Jones, the scorers, taking the posh through to that fifth round game against Manchester City. And of course, they've got history in the FA Cup. They once met in 1981 at the same stage, the fifth round. At the sixth stage in 1981, Tommy Bruce scoring the winner that day. Coventry again, another team that will bow out the cup with their heads out high, although they'll be feeling a little bit annoyed that they didn't get the opportunity of going to penalties. Southampton beating them 2-1, although Gorka Gears had put Coventry ahead after 22 minutes. Armstrong equalising with a superb goal into the top left-hand corner. Terrific goal from just to the right of the day as he struck it, and it looped past the goalkeeper. Cat made it 1-1. Then Kyle Walker-Peters with a deflected shot into the right corner, winning it in the 112th minute, winning it 8 minutes from the end of extra time. Coventry did have chances, and they had a late goal disallowed for offside, and they felt, and Mark Robbins' side went away feeling justifiably aggrieved. Stoke City are through, championship winning over League One. Wigan had a man sent off a quarter of an hour from the end. Ed was the man getting 2 yellows. But before then, Stoke had already done the damage with a goal on 14 by Marger and a Brown on 62. Both set up, in fact, by Kevin Campbell's son, Tyrese Campbell. So Stoke City safely through. Bit of a shock at Molineux yesterday. Kenny McLean's looping shot, the difference as Norwich City go past Wolves of the semi-finalists of 3 years ago. They bow out at the fourth round stage. No trophy for Wolves this year in Bruno Lage's first season, although they've been very highly impressive in the Premier League. And it's Dean Smith's Norwich, who are out of the bottom three in the Premier League, who won by a goal to nil, incidentally, yesterday. Cambridge United, well, they were well beaten in the end by Luton Town, who bagged a fifth round draw with Chelsea at Kenilworth Road. They were just too good for their opponents at the Abbey Stadium, in all honesty. Burker put Luton ahead after 14, Mendes Gomez after 23, and Muskerry 2 minutes from the end, making sure that the Hatters hatted if you pardon the pun, hatted a nice little draw against Chelsea. We're going back to CW in a second as well to get his assessment of the first half as well. Let's just finish off with the scores from today. Tottenham Hotspur 3, Brighton 1. A brace for Harry Kane after 13 and 66 minutes. Solly March with an own goal on 24 minutes. And then Bissouma pulling one back on 63. So Spurs are through. They play Middlesbrough, of course, in the next round of the Cup. And then earlier today, Cardiff City gave it a good goal, but Jota, Minamino and Harvey Elliott with the pick of the goals, sending Liverpool through 3-1, as you heard, with Ross Verdon on the TC Hub at Anfield. Colwell, though, scored a terrific goal for Cardiff 10 minutes from the end, but it was never going to be enough. And at the moment, and as you're hearing at half-time, and we'll get the thoughts on CW in a second, Nottingham Forest 3, Leicester 1. And tonight, 6:30 kick-off, it's Bournemouth taking on Bournemouth Wood at the Vitality Stadium. So there you are, you're right up to date. And also I'll recap the fourth round draw for you in just a second as well, before we bring CW in. So this is the fifth round draw. In full then, Luton play Chelsea, Crystal Palace against Stoke, Peterborough get Manchester City, Liverpool get Norwich City, Southampton play West Ham United, Middlesbrough play Tottenham Hotspur, Nottingham Forest looks like it's been them, or Leicester City, you never know what might happen in the second half. The winners of that will play Huddersfield Town, and the winners of Bournemouth and Boreham Wood will go to Goodison Park to face Everton. Right, that brings you well up to speed with everything that's going on, and I believe CW is back on the line, or his headphones are back at full tilt working again. So let's bring CW in now for a little bit of analysis before we head back for the second half. CW, are you there?
I am indeed. I've given my microphone the hairdryer treatment, so it should be all nice and ready to go now.
Well, the first half, we thought it might have been a tight derby. We were building it up to be so, but the point that we were making before the start about Leicester's vulnerability at set plays, in the end, really came back to haunt them again, because Nottingham Forest have just absolutely, in the first half, taken them to the cleaners. And, of course, even before they scored the opening goal, they were found wanting on set plays on maybe a couple of occasions, weren't they?
They were indeed. I mean, the first goal, obviously, was wonderful build-up play, which Leicester just were shell-shocked by, to the point where they dropped an absolute clanger for the second a minute later. Even the camera director didn't pick it up. It was only until the last second, when the replay disappeared, we saw what was happening. But Nottingham Forest were relentless, let's put it that way, for a good half an hour period in that first half, where Leicester just couldn't get near them. And obviously they did manage to get it together at the end after Forest kind of dropped a bit of a clanger. But even then, Forest have looked in complete control and have been well on top this game. They do deserve their lead. They've been superb to a man, more or less, in every position. Obviously, the goalkeeper will feel a little bit aggrieved with his performance with that crazy way out of the box kind of scenario, which, unfortunately, when you're out there, that's it, you're committed. So if you miss it, it's more or less a goal. But it has been... Forest are good value for their lead, and quite frankly, they should have had a couple more the way they were playing. But
they did hit the bar. Yeah, they did hit the bar on another occasions. But if you're Brendan Rodgers right now, I mean, you must be scratching your head really to know why you're 3-1 down. But are they really actually melting under the pressure, because they're holders and they're expected to go far again in this season's competition? is maybe that little weight of expectation from a Leicester point of view, maybe weighing a little bit heavy on the shoulders, perhaps?
Well, when you're the defending champions, you have a massive target on your back. Every single team that you go against will want to beat you and say, oh, well, we dumped out last season's champions. And that's a pressure that they've got to deal with, along with the fact that it is the FA Cup and along with the fact that it's a Midlands derby. So all the pressure was on Leicester. The fact that they're the Premier League side out of the two as well. I think they're just wilting under the pressure. And the atmosphere tonight has been something spectacular. And the second half, I dare say, is going to be just as raucous. And if Leicester get an early goal, we could have all kinds of fun in the second half.
Yeah, and just on Leicester's defence, we want to get your thoughts on the Leicester defence, because Russ has just spoken to me while we were talking over the earphones, and he's just said, he's just said to me that his friend who's at the game, who's a Leicester fan, says they've been poor. Would you concur with the Leicester fan there?
I would be inclined to agree. That's partly down to the fact that Nottingham Forest have got the very attacking setup. So generally speaking, their wing-backs are in an overload position 9 times out of 10, and they're just not dealing with it. So whether Brendan Rodgers will adjust the shape at half-time to compensate, I don't know. But generally speaking, barring the 3 Nottingham Forest defenders, the other lot that have been on the pitch have just been bombing forward the whole time, and it's just causing all kinds of havoc. But Leicester they're just disorganised. They don't quite have their communication right. Their passes are awry at times. I think they're really missing the leadership on the field of Kasper Schmeichel, who normally keeps everything in check, and it is definitely kind of showing. Really, I mean, no disrespect to Danny Ward in goal, but Kasper Schmeichel has that kind of commanding presence, which is kind of like, you don't make mistakes, otherwise you are going to get it at half time. And I dare say, in the changing room, he's probably giving it right now.
Absolutely, and I think I do agree with you on that, because Kasper Schmeichel was one of the main reasons why they won the cup last season. Remember, he made those 2 fantastic saves. I remember in the final at Wembley against Chelsea when they looked all odds on to level the count in that game. But what do Leicester really need to do in the second half? They've got to get 1 or 2 of their better players on in the second half. I know they've got a strongish sort of side out there, but they have to. Somebody's got to give in that changing room. Of course, Brendan will have given them a right rocket, as you say. But what do Leicester need to do? I mean, if they can get a couple of goals, force extra time, is it beyond the realms of possibility? Could that happen? Or will Forest just get that? I mean, it's Forest to lose now, isn't it, really, in a way? But Leicester really need to up the pace in the next 45 minutes, haven't they?
They have. I mean, it is Nottingham Forest to lose at this point, which, is a pressure that maybe they won't want. But at the same time, going into this game, they were favourites to be defeated. So they're the clear underdogs. And so far, statistically, barring possession, they've been anything but. But for Leicester, I'm looking at their bench. Daka's a good player. He can come on and make a difference. He certainly knows where the goal is. They've got Ricardo Pereira, who could certainly come back in a wing-back position. Jose Perez, Chowdhury, Albrighton. They've got some good quality on the bench that could make a difference. It just depends on how quickly Brendan Rodgers wants to crack the substitution whip. As for Forest, then they've got the new signing Surridge on the bench as well. They've got a couple of good players that could make a difference. It is literally going to be a tactical battle going into the second half, and it'll be interesting to see which manager blinks first in terms of changes. But I feel like Nottingham Forest have more wriggle room to react, obviously, because they have that 2-goal cushion. But as I said, an early goal for Leicester will certainly change the occasion. An early goal for Nottingham Forest as well could kill off the game. So I think it's fair to say that the next goal is the most important one right now.
Absolutely, and let's hope for a great second half. Just to remind you, listeners, that we will have a bonus delayed game for you. That will be, we'll possibly do you the Boreham Wood match at some point, and that will be played out on the TC Hub tomorrow night and all TC Hub platforms. Don't forget, if you are, let's see if we've had any comments in the chat. Mike Hardeman has said about Trevor's little prediction. It's more likely to be 8-0 than 4-4. The way Forest has started, Forest looking outstanding. Mark has been on saying hi. Keenan Davis was the next Stevenage youth. Well, Mike had to throw the old Stevenage stuff in there, didn't he? So plenty of good comments on there. Please, if you are on any of the YouTube platforms, whether it's JB Sports, JDAC Football, Storm FM, or TCM2, or the TCM itself, and of course Twitch, because we do have messages on there. Please keep your comments clean. We still are a family program. I just got to make that point permanently clear. There's a lot of moderators on these streams that if we see any foul language on the comments, we will take it off, so you will not be welcome again. So the teams are about to enter the fray. Can Leicester, who are 3-1 down amazingly here at the City Ground, as we look at that brilliant Brian Clough stand, I think Cloughy will be looking down on the Forest boys and saying, well done, young men. He really would, and it's been fantastic to watch. Nottingham Forest 3-1 up there. They're still in with a shout at the playoffs, although they lost at Cardiff last week, but all that has been forgotten about in that first 45 minutes. And it looks like we're going to see Decker on at half-time. Let's get that confirmed now with your two commentators. Here's Chris and Trevor.
Zimbabwe International is on the pitch for Leicester City. So Brendan Rodgers has made a change, and he needed to, because in that first half they were completely outplayed by Nottingham Forest. They've swapped sides now. Forest will be attacking the Trent end over to my left. Forest will be attacking the end in which their away fans are sitting in the Bridgeford stands. And I'm sure everyone that's supporting the team in red really are hoping today that this is the start of some revival. Steve Cooper himself, some have said that he really is starting to work something special. We shall have to wait and see whether he can get the resources, but we're back underway in the second half. Leicester attacking from left to right in all blue. Soenchu's early pass out has gone all the way across. Dejan Spence is there to clear it away. And there is Brendan Rodgers trudging back to his dugout. Big 45 minutes for his side in the FA Cup this season. There's Joe Worrell's clearance. Yates doesn't get anything onto it at the moment. Justin. And the ball has gone out for a Leicester City throw, and Justin does take it. Madison looks to flick it on. Batson Daka, and it was just shoulder to shoulder with Dejan Spence, and that was the right decision. And Spence looks to clear it away from the throw. And we hope that you're enjoying our coverage so far. And let's hope to see that we get more of the great action than we got in the first half. Always is a pleasure to come in and commentate on the FA Cup, and none more so than great goals and performances just like what we have seen from Forest, who have produced an excellent 45 minutes of football. Barring one mistake, it was pretty much the perfect half. Here is Ziganagel looking to try to go through again. The throw-in's been awarded and Leicester City's way, and I need to now go to my co-commentator and just sort of ask him overall what he thinks Leicester will do now they've got Batson Daka on the pitch.
Well, I've got to feed him the ball because he knows how to score. That's for certain. He was prolific at Red Bull Salzburg in his 4 or 5 year spell there. 82 appearances, 54 goals. He's scored 4 goals in 9 appearances for Leicester this year. So he knows where the back of the net is. All you got to do is give him the ball and let him work. So be interesting to see if there's a change of shape as well to accommodate for him, because obviously they need a goal. And as I said, an early one would really do them some favours. So early doors, be interesting to see how Leicester set up.
Here's James Maddison, early pass, looking for Justin, and they just push forward, and I can definitely see both wing backs for Leicester have pushed further forward. Here is Philip Ziganagel, got past Sandini. Ziganagel again, does he fancy the shot? Out wide to Johnson. Spencer supporting in. Johnson's effort took a deflection, and it's just gone wide. And straight away, the danger here for Leicester when they push forward is they get exposed by Forest on the counter.
Yeah, that's attacking formation just allows them to overload so many times. It's a lot. The numbers game is always going to be in their favour generally as well. So as you can see there, it's basically a 4v4 at that point. That's I do love the fact that both teams are attacking the goals that their fans are behind now. That just adds an extra element to every attack going forward. It really is the stuff you love to see. They could suck that ball in from this corner if they could.
Ziganagel with a header back into the mixer. Back across. The looping header is just punched away. And it needed to be punched away. Scott McKenna's effort was flying in. There goes Danny Ward knocking the ball away. And Ward again, I think, is just looked like there was a clash of heads potentially. Ryan Yates is the man who is down. And it was another set piece that was the undunning. There's there by McKenna. And as Ward punches it, absolutely right. Does a clatter Yates, but Yates showing us a little bit of Bulldog spirit and getting right back up.
Well, if you get a challenger goalkeeper in the A, you're either brave or mad. Sometimes a bit of both, because unfortunately, it can end up in that exact scenario where you get socked in the face.
Well, either way, Yates is back up. We're honouring and we're still going. And this FA Cup fourth round contest, as the light fades round, the floodlights light up the City ground. Many a famous night had here, particularly famous wins in the European Cup. Brilliant famous night in which they beat the defending champions back in Liverpool in the late 70s here. So special things happen under the lights in the City grounds. And famously, one of the last... we'll just wait for this attack to continue. Nearly crossed there by Daka, which is blocked, and a corner goes. And hopefully this is better times. Last time Forest were in the Premier League, perhaps their most famous night they had under the lights in their final season in the Premier League was an 8-1 thrashing by Manchester United, including four goals scored in 10 minutes by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And I'm sure that was a night they were like to forget. Of course, that season, Ron Atkinson took over as the manager for the final few months of that, as they were relegated from the Premier League. Madison's corner, good corner, headed away by McKenna. Come back to Soyuncu. And straight away, he's got Vickers Ziganeagle's come across and has caught him. That is a foul. He's outside of the box. Ziganeagle complains, and I think Soyuncu definitely made sure that he was going to get fouled. And here we stand with an opportunity for Leicester City with a set piece in a dangerous area.
Yeah, it's always a promising position, those byline positions for decent crosses to be put in. Perfect opportunity to get your centre-backs forward. And, this was the side of the pitch where one of the set pieces came from, which led to a goal. So let's see if Leicester can make it work from this side as well.
Deep breath by Madison, looking to cross forward. Armati is forward, so is Soyuncu, all at the far post. There's Daka, there's Iheanacho. Madison sets. Tielemans on the edge of the area. And David Lookman is there also. Just seems to wait. Referees, a little bit of argy-bargy going on. There's Yates just acknowledging that he's got to deal with Daka. Just looking to force something. Oh, it's a low ball in. It's a poor free kick considering. Really is a poor free kick. There goes Thomas across to Justin. Both wingers have swapped halves at the moment. So you've got your left-footed and right-footed players on opposite flanks. This is Brendan Johnson, who's done really well to keep the ball and is now putting on a foot race at the moment with James Justin. He has to clear it away. That's good football by the young man. Charging forward and putting the young Englishman in the colours of Leicester City under real pressure. Well, it's a throw-in called. Here's Dejan Spence to take. Back again. Yates pokes it forward. Ziganeagle gets a foot onto it. Soyuncu clears left-footed. There's Iheanacho. Oh, it's poor again from Iheanacho. Here is Yates. The through ball over the top. Spence against Thomas. Spence needs to get it under control. He's done so now. Gets it round through the legs of Justin. Here's Johnson, and that's got away. Leicester City at the moment starting to play a little bit of Hollywood football, it seems. Excellent stuff. So let's wait and see what happens. Here is the throw-in. Spence is getting ready to take. And Keenan Davis comes short. There is Spence. Yates. Spence again. Oh, there's appeal for handballs. Not given. Now Leicester City can come on the break. Here's Madison. Madison going sets to the pace off from Daka. Daka at the moment up against Joe Worrell. Clever little pass. Back to Madison. Does he fancy the shot from here? Oh, so close. So close from James Madison. Opened his body up. Looked to try to curl it in. It's just flashed wide in the end. Bryce Samba was diving to his left. But in the end, it's just wrapped past him. But that's better from Leicester City. And that's sort of what they need to do in this half if they're to get back into it. That was desperately unlucky.
It was. Forrest switched off for a split second thinking that there was a handball in the opposite box, but Madison gets forward quickly, and this is a right skimmer any kind of bounce off the turf, and that could have gone anywhere, but agonisingly close for Maddison. Leicester just trying to get that early footing this half. But it's really still anyone's game at this point. As I said, the next goal is going to be a massive momentum swinger.
Well, it feels very much like next goal wins it at the moment. If Michael Massey was in charge, that probably would be the case. Still, we'll get over it. Here's Maddison, and he's under pressure at the moment from Yates in his court, and referee Paul Tierney gives the free kick. And Leicester now just starting to put Forest under a bit of pressure, and since the last few minutes of the second half, you can see Leicester very much pushing themselves further up the pitch and just trying to stop Forest playing as much football as they have done. Here's Armati. Now Amadoma Lookman. Lookman's low cross into the box is a challenging one. And Iheanacho's got a chance, but he has to get it on his left foot. And in the end, it was pulled back to Batson Daka. And if Iheanacho had a right foot, that could have really caused Bryce Samba some problems.
Just hit it with your right foot. Stop messing around with it, trying to get it on your favoured. Swing the right. All that can happen is you miss it, and everyone will have a little bit of a giggle. But even then, that's a gilt-edged chance there. Daka wasn't expecting that ball to come to him. He was fully expecting Iheanacho to shoot. But dearie me, it was a good opportunity wasted there for Leicester. Can't keep giving those away.
No, but it does at least give Leicester City a little bit of a hope and a little bit of a reminder that they can get themselves back in it. They just have to be careful on the counter-attack. Soyuncu, though, has kept this ball and kept his eye on it well. Passes across Armati. Definitely hoping that his passing is a little more solid than it was to give the goal away. Here's Daniel Armati pushing forward with real purpose. Iheanacho. McKenna comes across, left-footed, clears the ball all the way up to Danny Ward for Leicester City. Rare start for him. Club captain Kasper Schmeichel usually does start. Captain for his club and country. Denmark are the semi-finalists at the European Championship. First side to do so, having lost 2 games in the group stages. That's a long ball being chased, and Samba will get to that. Ball Justin does. And very much a big change which is made with both wingers, as we're watching Sean Dyche watching on. Maybe is he potentially scouting Nottingham Forest's Championship opponents next season. At the moment, that could be the case unless Burnley can turn their season around.
He used to play for Forest. He was part of the youth academy setup when Brian Clough was still here. So he's probably still a follower of the team, to be fair to him.
Oh, that's probably where he gets his sense of humour from, having worked with Brian Clough. Well, you had to, really.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at this from Davis. What was he there? Was he just caught from Ndidi? He does think so. And he just looks to be like as if he was just a sort of heels across the back.
There's a hole in his top. You watch. He's dug those studs in. There's a hole in his sock now. It's it's one thing I've spotted with Ndidi and Tielemans for Leicester. Whenever the wing backs push forwards, one of those two drops in and forms a back three. So Brendan Rodgers is definitely playing with a more fluid formation this second half.
He's also swapped both wing backs because there are times in which you've got Luke Thomas and James Justin swapping alternate wings at the moment.
Anything that works at this point, I think.
Well, how long before they go route one? We're a long way off that at the moment. We're just coming up to the 57th minute of the second half. Nottingham Forest lead by 3-1. Brilliant first half for Forest, in which they were 3-0 up. Scored 2 goals in 2 minutes. And then the captain, Joe Worrell's brilliant diving header made it 3. Then a bit of a moment of madness from Bryce Samba allowed Kelechi Iheanacho through to score. And that made him the highest scoring African player in the history of the FA Cup with his 15th goal. Early ball tried to play, and Garner is there to clear for Nottingham Forest. Swirling high at the moment in the winds that you always get here in the City ground, especially this time of year. That's a lovely little touch by Davis, and Ziganeo here was caught by Wilfred Ndidi. The free kick's going, and it's just starting to get a little bit petty at the moment, and just acknowledging that perhaps Ndidi had to make that, or there could have been an opportunity through, and looks like the referee's going to keep his card in his pocket again.
Well, ref needs to keep control here because it's getting a little bit petulant from both sides with these niggling fouls, and that's just needs to get on top of it. Otherwise, we're in danger of the occasion going from a football match to a bit of a discounted wrestling match. But for the minutes, Referee's just going, I don't want to get the cards out just yet, but if I have to, then I will. I don't want to spoil the occasion by sending someone off. Oh, he is getting the cards out now. Somebody's obviously argued with him too much.
Yeah, I think he's called back Wilfred Ndidi for the foul. I think he's just taking his time, and just to remind both captains about what's at stake and remind them to play their football. But Wilfred Ndidi remains the first player booked. There's Philip Ziganego getting some treatment, and this is what he was booked for. And I suspect it's down to the phase of play, the fact that Forest were about to enter the final third, and under the referee's instruction, that is an obstructive professional foul almost, and free kicking and booking is required. Ziganego will go off for treatment, and while he's off for treatment, Forest have 10 men, but have a set piece, and it's been Leicester City's Achilles heel. Conceded to the beginning of this game 17. As of right now, they've conceded 18 goals from set pieces. Long ball across, headed back into the area by McKenna. Here he goes again, looking to loop the ball in. McKenna just trying to loop it away. And now it is being chased at the moment by Cook. Paces it all the way back kindly to Samba in goal. Forest. Garner. Now back to Samba. His clearance is almost chopped. It's gone very high. Hasn't even reached his own half, to be honest. Amadoma Lookman. His control let him down. Davis does well. Has been impressive today for Nottingham Forest. There's Garner just short. And now the pass back in. And Lookman, he's gone down. The referee's not having any of it. I'm sure he went down far too easy for the referee's lineman. Amadoma Lookman was frustrated, but from where I'm looking, that's no penalty. Now it's
looked like a slip to me.
Yeah, Ziganego moving forward for Forest. Now in open space is Johnson! Good save by Ward! And Soyuncu had to get there again. And Forest were just an inch or two away from doubling their advantage to 4-1. That would have been astonishing, but for the save by Danny Ward. And Forest still have the ball at the moment. This is Spence. Ziganego. Back to Spence! It's in then! It is in! It is 4-1 Nottingham Forest! That could be the holders leaving the FA Cup in front of the Trent End. Forest have struck. It's been Spence. It's been coming. It's been brilliant. Nottingham Forest might just feel they've got themselves a place in the fifth round at home to Huddersfield. Wonderful exchange of football. Leicester fans furious. They thought they should have had a penalty. As it turns out they don't. And Spencer's made it 4-1.
Well, it's a fantastic finish from Spence. Absolutely brilliant. Leicester switch off from the throw on. Just trying to see who possibly played everyone on side. Look how deep the defence is there. All sorts of disorganisation back there. And, well, Nottingham Forest, they've been supreme in front of goal today. Spence, wonderful poke past the goalkeeper into the bottom left-hand corner. And, well, that was Nottingham Forest, by the way, down to 10 men. The player was still receiving treatment at that point. Absolutely fantastic scenes.
Well, Forest have caught Leicester City completely cold. And on a night here in which very much emotions are running high, Nottingham Forest lead their local rivals in the FA Cup fourth round by 4-1. Incredible to think, but Nottingham Forest here are in complete control now.
I'm not saying anything, Trevor, but 4-4 is still on here.
We shall wait and see. As a change being made and getting ready for Leicester City, it looks as if Jack Colbert is going to come on for Ziganego, who can no longer continue after getting that knock. But the man that got the winner against Arsenal has been very impressive again this evening. And after an hour and 2 minutes, his game comes to an end.
Getting a standing ovation as well, well deserved.
Absolutely.
Putting a real shift today.
Real performance. And everyone on the bench to acknowledge the Danish international for his brilliant performance.
Makes you wonder why Watford would send him out on loan with a performance like that, but there you go.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. Will Forest themselves want to buy him outright? So he's definitely winning himself a lot of praise and a lot of fans here down by the team on the River Trent. There's Steve Cooper. What a job he has done for Nottingham Forest. And you can hear the ground absolutely rocking. It is a raucous, wonderful atmosphere. Really shows you the magic of the cup today. There's Tielemans moving away to Iheanacho. So Leicester need 3 goals to force extra time. There's Patson Daka. And he's just almost looked like he'd got past Steve Cook. He didn't. Cook recovered, and the former Bournemouth man that has played in the Premier League with Bournemouth, just able to kick the ball out for a corner. Patson Daka was thinking about taking it quickly. Now it is back to James Maddison to take, and for Leicester, they've taken quite a sort of quick sort of low balls across the back of the box. Will they try and whip this into the mixer today? That is what Maddison does. He goes near posts, and a powerful header away by Joe Worrell. And it was Soyuncu that got ahead of him, and it's gone out for a goal kick. And we're just waiting for the ball to come back. As you can imagine, some fans are hoping that they can keep it. Quite understandable. It's not often you go ahead and beat your local rivals in the fourth round of the FA Cup. And 2 more changes being made by Brendan Rodgers.
Well, it's got to be made, hasn't it? They're not at the races at all. Changes are needed, and Lookman has been kind of absent this game. Let's be honest, he hasn't done too much. It's not been a day to remember for him. This is going to be tough for Leicester. You've got to bear in mind of how their season finished last year, obviously winning the FA Cup, European football. Now all of a sudden they're staring elimination in the face. They're having a pretty mild season in the Premier League. It's not going particularly well for them right now.
Well, Ricardo Pereira and Dewsbury Hall come on. So Yuri Tielemans is surprisingly off the pitch at the moment. Here's Armati. And a booking there for young James Garner. Just for the break in play. And it looks like Paul Tierney's got a semblance of control back in the match. But this is what this young man was booked for.
I think he's done with all these tactical fouls now. I think he's like, if I see any more, you're just going to get straight up booked. And there's been a lot beforehand, and now I think he's finally reining it in.
Well, that's always the discretion of the referee. And there's been a lot criticised for the standard of officiating in this country, but so far, Portini's had a pretty good game. This is Iheanacho just trying to get there, but Cook does, and then he even wins his own header. Now, shout for handball, not given. And no VAR to refer that, so the referee's decision is final. This commentator's opinion, potentially what it should be. And Paul Tierney just reminding that. And there was a moment in the first half where you see the Leicester players waiting for VAR and then realising that it's not available today. And just freezing at that key moments. This is Dewsbury Hall, number 22, passing it out to Soyuncu, who's settled into that midfield role. So this is Brendan Rodgers at the moment, decided to take off Tielemans on the vain hope at the moment that this cup ties over and they've got that league form to continue, which has been inconsistent. Either way, it's going to be another throw, and it will be the goal scorer, the 4th goal scorer for Nottingham Forest, David Spence, to take. And Tierney just, referee Paul Tierney, just waiting for the key moments. And this was it. That was the handball shout by Yates. Penalty for you, Chris?
No, it's completely accidental. He's not even looking at the ball at that point. His eyes are shut, so he's not even paying attention to where the ball is too much there. It was a complete freak occurrence, that. So no penalty for me.
Davis going in. Now here's Garner. Right foot over the top. Max Lowe is through at the moment. Lowe's ball across. Whoa! Another chance for Forest. Max Lowe trying to catch Danny Ward out with a left-footed strike, and he's just pulled it wide.
Well, Forest could have had 6, 7, maybe even 8 at this point. They really are running riot in front of goal today. If they were just a tad more clinical, I mean, 4 goals is pretty clinical, but if they were really, truly on the next level, then it could quite easily be 8 at this point.
Well, fantastic times if you're a Forest fan at the moment. And Steve Cooper succeeding where many have failed in one of the impossible jobs of English football. Here's Maddison for Leicester City. Who reminds you need 3 goals to force extra time. 68 minutes played at the moment at the City grounds. Here's Armati. Pass goes out wide. Ricardo Pereira into the channels for Baston Daka to run. Max Lowe getting 1 foot to clear it away. Here's Ndidi again. Daka. Clearance is made by Lowe, and it'll be another corner for Leicester. So Leicester City, really, you feel if they're going to get back in this game, need to get something soon.
Well, ideally in the next couple of minutes. I mean, 4-2 is still a long way back, but You know, if the comeback's going to start, it needs to start soon, because otherwise Forest will just game manage from this point. They'll just take the sting out of it, probably take their time with everything if they're not already, and try and take the sting out of Leicester.
Here's Madison's header back in. Ricardo Pereira trying to play the 1-2 again. Now this is James Justin, and the challenge is made by Colback, so it'll be another corner for Leicester. Leicester City obviously got that famous afternoon hoisting the FA Cup after beating Chelsea. Real underdog achievement for that. In order to get there again, they've got to produce something really quite special at the moment. Batson Daka at the moment is right under the goalkeeper's nose. There's the clearance away by Lowe. Dewsbury Hall just floated one in, and Samba does very well to grab that. That's a good bit of goalkeeping from the man that has the bandage just right above his left eyebrow. Told that is very much required for medical purposes. And now here is Lowe for Nottingham Forest. That's a nice ball searching for Garner down the channel. Soyin Chu back to Ward. He's put under pressure at the moment by Johnson. Ward kicks it long. Oh, good strong header, has to be said, by McKenna. But it's only gone as far back as young Luke Thomas for Leicester City. It looks like he's been slightly overruled by the occasion, but has definitely settled into this match as it's gone on. This is Ndidi. Daniel Amati. There is Madison. Left-footed, centre of the pitch. Passes out towards the near side. This is Dewsbury Hall. Now Ricardo Pereira. The two substitutes combining for Leicester City. Dewsbury Hall again. Madison. Got options over on the far side. Comes back across goal. Dewsbury Hall. Inachi trying to be a little too cute. McKenna. Good old-fashioned bit of defending, but it's not gone out. It's just gone up. Here's Ricardo Pereira. Going to cross the ball in. There goes Steve Cook getting the ball away for Forest. Dewsbury Hall. Another clearance which Cook has cleared it away. And now it's becoming a little more apparent that Forest are preparing to sit deep. 71 minutes played at the City Ground. Nottingham Forest 4. Leicester City 1. The header on. And Inacho here just trying to get ahead of McKenna, who does really well. Scotsman against Nigerian. It's gone out for a throw. There's Pereira to take. And another substitution being prepared. And Keenan Davis's afternoon is over. He's put in a fantastic shift, the former Aston Villa man. And here he bats off. In his place at the moment is the man they signed on the deadline day. This is Surridge is on. So Surridge comes on for Nottingham Forest. And now we wait to see the referee's decision. That's a free kick straight away as the young man tries to get involved straight away. So this is going to be the key final chapter, final act, if you like, of what has been a three-part act today. Keenan Davis has set up the first goal. Brilliant assist. Hit the bar. Let's not forget early on in the contest. And there's been a real nuisance and really caused Marty and Soyuncu a lot of problems today. And that will definitely do him a lot of confidence that perhaps he could make it to the highest level. Here's Ndidi. Good control by him. Lovely touch. Dewsbury Hall. Put under pressure by Garner and able to get away with it. Madison. Pressure again from Nottingham Forest, who are not preparing to charge until Leicester City enter their half. Madison going long, looking for Dewsbury Hall. It's been cleared away. Justin. Now it's back across. Ricardo Pereira for Leicester City. Takes it back. Batson Daka drives it, but couldn't keep it down. Referee signals goal kick. And Leicester now starting to go a little more direct. And they start to look a little more desperate.
Yeah, Nottingham Forest definitely looking to just manage the game at this point. Obviously, if you keep this 3-goal cushion, it's fairly comfortable. It's not much to worry about. They're quite happy to let them take pot shots from that distance because for it to go in from there, it's got to be an absolute worldie. But attempts there, 11-9 in favour of Nottingham Forest. Leicester have definitely been the more attacking side this time round. However, that one shot on target for Leicester compared to Nottingham Forest 7 tells the whole story, really. Nottingham Forest being far more efficient in front of goal. Here's a chance for him.
Well, in the end, it's been cut out by Soyuncu, who has been still trying, and in this Leicester City side, but is a side at the moment that's been outclassed at the moment, probably to a man at the moment by Nottingham Forest. Had Leicester City had a fully fit Jamie Vardy on the pitch, had they started Kasper Schmeichel, could things have been different? We shall find those questions out another day. Is Johnson able to win the throw-in after the knock-on by Luke Thomas? Spencer's getting set to throw the ball in. And at this point, Paul Tierney's got to start to think to his mind how much time to add on. This is Spence. Oh, he was caught by Maddison. And I wonder if the referee will have a little word with him. No, he won't. He'll just show him the yellow card.
No words to be said on that one. It was a pretty poor challenge. Just chopped him as soon as he got to him. It was no real... Spence just knocked the ball past him and sent him flying.
Perhaps a little bit of frustrations holding for James Maddison, who would have hoped under the live television cameras today that this could be an opportunity for him to show Gareth Southgate just why he should be in his squad for the World Cup. Hasn't come out that way today. Free kick for Leicester City to defend. Yates, Cook, Worrell and Surridge are all forward. Surridge darting about. Garner puts the ball into the area. Oh, it's just been cleared away as far as Johnson. Here he is, the Welshman. Lovely touch by him. Brilliant touch by Johnson. Oh, it's Hollywood football from Forest at the moment. Here's Colback. Colback being pushed forward. There's a clever little pass. There goes Cook. Just lost it. Now Surridge. Good turn by he. Up against Soyuncu. This is Surridge again. Cross is blocked by Soyuncu, who picks up his own deflection and plays it away. Armati. Certainly target, and Surridge trying to run through. There's Ricardo Pereira losing it to Lowe. Now Colback for Forest. Now it's a chance for Cook to move it forward. Steve Cook trying to go on. I thought the whites of his eyes lit up as he thought there could be an opportunity to go forward. Ryan Yates, though, does have the opportunity to go forward, but the referee has stopped. A collision of heads, and it looks to be a young man that has gone down in the middle of the pitch. And frustration on the face of James Maddison. And one can see here what happened there. Ooh, did he catch young James Garner there? What on earth happened here?
Let's just see. That's naughty. Like, it's not particularly damaging, but you can't just swipe out like that and foul someone when you're on a yellow card. It's just foolish behaviour. He's got away with that one. This has not been the game that James Maddison would have wanted. We gave him all the hype before the game about him being the key man for Leicester. And, well, he's been pretty much invisible, barring the fouls that he's given away. So, not a day to bask in for James Maddison. Of course, he could turn it all around in the next 15 minutes and make me look a bit silly, but I somewhat doubt it.
Well, he's had one curling effort that whisked wide, and I think that's about all I can imagine from him. Here is Colback getting set to take the set piece for Nottingham Forest, left-footed. Floats it into the box far post towards Yates. It's beaten everybody. That will be a goal kick for Leicester City, who I'm sure when they were planning for this didn't expect to be pressed and hurried as much as they have been. Two managers said before, Steve Cook, they really want it. For Brendan Rodgers, we have to show no fear. Well, I think today Steve Cook's got it right because his side have certainly looked like they've wanted to win this game more. Here's Armati.
They have indeed. It's just been two complete... Like, you wouldn't believe that Leicester were the Premier League and defending FA Cup holders based on the performance today. They've been defensively all at sea. They've definitely missed Kasper Schmeichel's organisation. They really have. Like, in terms of... It's a brave decision to drop your captain, and I think it's been shown here.
Well, handball given, and that's more frustration for James Maddison. Looped over him, and he did handle it. So, free kick goes Nottingham Forest's way, and now they've got to be looking at the clock, coming up to the 78th minute, and from this point here, 12 minutes plus time added on. If they can manage the game effectively, well, it looks as if Spencer's goal could have clinched it and put them into the 5th round.
Yeah, he's been fantastic today on that right-hand side, and that goal just summed up his performance, really. He's certainly one of the contenders for man of the match, I'll give you that.
Well, Forest taking no chances with Bryce Samba, the goalkeeper, getting set to pump this one forward. Does indeed get it in, and Surridge was looking to try to challenge. Wasn't able to do so. There's Justin, left-footed, clears it along the line. There goes Joe Wall, heading it back into the mixture. Dewsbury Hall looking for an Inacho forward. Now it's Madison, who still possesses just that little joie de vivre. And in doing so, has been able to draw the foul. Dejan Spence, Forest's 4th goal scorer this afternoon. No doubts that was something he was preparing for. And Nottingham Forest continues to put the pressure on. And I can see Soyin Chu marching his way into the box. And I guess now they've got to start putting it right into the mixer a bit more. Madison floats it in towards the far post, looking for Patson Daka. It's a good header away by Lowe, and eventually it has got away it again for the second attempt. There's Daka. Ricardo Pereira. It's a clever ball across pitch. Madison now. Madison's curling efforts. Headed away again. There's Surridge. Chance to run from Johnson. Justin is there. Back to Ward. Now to Ndidi. Daniel Amati comes forward. Ricardo Pereira. Dewsbury Hall. Forest sitting deep and winning the ball back. There's Colback doing brilliantly. Samba's got to clear that left-footed and does clear it left-footed. Picked up pretty much inside the centre circle by Soyin Chu. 10 minutes to go. Nottingham Forest 4, Leicester City 1, FA Cup 4th round. Here is Dewsbury Hall up against Joe Worrell. Good work by Dewsbury Hall to try and sort of twist and turn, but in the end, the Forest captain is able to maintain possession. And is that going to be a corner? It looks like it is. I suspect there that the skipper got the final touch. In fact, it's not. It's going to be a goal kick. That's good defending.
Tell you what, Joe Worrell has been an absolute Goliath today. The stand-in skipper for Lewis Grabham, he has led from the front at the back. Look at this. This is incredible defending by Worrell. Brilliant stuff.
Well, we're about 10 minutes away from heading towards your choice for your prediction. Well, one thing I would want to say is the way the game has gone at the moment, who do you think is potentially contenders for your man of the match today, Chris?
Oh, take your pick. I mean, anyone in the Nottingham Forest side, really, probably apart from the goalkeeper, of course, after that blunder. But they've all been stupendous today. Although that, as I'm saying that, they did play a dodgy pass and put themselves under pressure.
Yes, this is Inacho. Now Madison. Back to Ricardo Pereira again. Up against Lowe. There's Colback making the block. And Colback just looking to try and clear it away. And what's the referee giving here? Corner to Leicester City. Well, we'll give you a few minutes. And then with 5 minutes to go, we'll ask you your decision for man of the match today, Chris. So get the thinking cap on, young man.
I'll find it. I've left it somewhere.
Madison's corner. Headed down and away. It'll come any far as James Justin. Clever pass back in to Thomas. Floats it into the mixer. Leicester had 3 players offside. Daniel Amati! Whoa! There he goes, flying on the left foot. And that'll do Bryce Samba the world of good to make an important save. That was goal bound.
It was indeed. It's Samba hasn't had too much to do this match, to be fair to him. That's probably the first shot on target that he's had to deal with, and it was a travelling one. Caught that really well, but Amati gets a really good connection, and Samba gets both hands on it. At the first attempt, he gets only one, but gathers it the second attempt. It's a good save.
Very much so, and indeed the art of goalkeeping has gone from stopping the ball to stopping it in ways in which the opposition can't get to it. Such is the technical prowess required of goalkeepers these days. Here is Brennan Johnson. Scored Forest's second goal, which you only saw a little kick-off because we were still watching the replay. Justin. Little flick on. There goes Cook, just going long towards Surridge, and Ward will pick this up for Leicester City. Time running out for them. But in all fairness, it felt like when Dejan Spence had scored and put Forest 4-1 up, that it was really game over. And you felt whoever scored the first goal in the second half was going to be key for this match. Here's Soyin Chu. Leicester City's defence looks like it's ending in the 4th round of the FA Cup. Here goes one final chance. One final moment for them to try and rescue something. 7 minutes to go plus time added on. 4-1 behind Leicester City to a brilliant Nottingham Forest. There goes a long ball. Cook was winning that every day of the week, I suspect. Yates going for a long pass over the top. Now here is Surridge. He's onside. Flag has stayed down. He's going straight for the corner. This is clever work by him, managing the ball and managing the game. Low. Colback. Low again. Now it is back to Cook. McKenna. Has Worrell. Doesn't see him. Tries to go down the line towards Spence. Soyuncu. I think he's had more of the ball today than any other Leicester player, perhaps than James Maddison. It's Ricardo Pereira. Now here is a run from Iheanacho. Dewsbury Hall for Leicester City. Continue to move it. Swaps to the opposite flank. Maddison. Pressured by Colback. And Ndidi. Pressured by Yates. Soyuncu again asks his team to find clever and better runs, to find more opportunities. Ricardo Pereira up against Lowe. That's a poor pass. And now here is Surridge. Now this is Garner. He has impressed today. And he's been stopped at the moment by Amati. Gets a pat on his back there, James Garner, by Steve Cook, acknowledging the performance that he's had. And Steve Cook, I think, maybe thinking perhaps one more change to slow things down towards the end. In fact, they've got a player warming up on the bench for Nottingham Forest. We'll find out what's happening shortly, but the fourth official standing ready to call out. Now, this is Dewsbury Hall for Leicester City. And Colback makes the block. Referee signals that the throw was to continue. Here's Armati for Leicester. Back to Soyuncu. 85 minutes gone. Nottingham Forest 4, Leicester City 1. FA Cup 4th round game here. Exclusive, unofficial, alternative commentary brought to you on the Commentary Hub. You may know it as the Commentary Hub. Hashtag us, TC Hub. Let us know what you think of this game. Let us know who's your choice for man of the match. Soyuncu moving the ball forwards. Chris, I've got to ask you, who is your choice today for your man of the match?
Well, it was a toss-up between Spence and Worrell, and I've got to give it to Joe Worrell, the standing captain. Scored a goal, has been basically a wall at the back, not letting anything past him. He nearly got to the goal that Leicester scored. He was ever so close to getting a block on it, but he's not let anything past him. He's led like you would have think he would be the full-time captain the way he's led the side tonight. He has been superb, so it's got to be him. Spence is a close second, who his goal today as well. But they've all been fantastic. If I could give man of the match to every member of the team, I would. Nottingham Forest have been really good, but Worrell stands out the most out of all of them. He's been superb.
Well, Surridge wins the foul. Joe Worrell wins man of the match. We'll wait and see if our colleagues next to us in the BBC commentary box agree. But for us, it's Joe Worrell, and no complaints from myself. I think the man has been an absolute rock at the back today for Forest. And that third goal really did change the tie to almost levels beyond that, less stability. The BBC have gone with Brennan Johnson as their choice for man of the match. Has been impressive in a lot of his play. Got the second goal. So, but as you said, Chris, that you could give the man of the match to anybody in a red shirt, really.
Pretty much. That's you could pick anyone really out of this lot. They've done superb. Blue Well has gone nearly just taken an opportunistic strike, but these two sides love scoring a lot of goals between them in the FA Cup. Just the 5 today. They scored 4 last time. It was 10 years ago. So if these two come up in the draw again, definitely get us on it.
Well, 101 years ago, Nottingham Forest beat Leicester by 5-1 in what was then the 4th round of the FA Cup. Could the same be on the cards for them in the end today? 2 changes being made in the final few moments of this contest. James Garner is due to come off. He has had an outstanding game and is getting a deserved standing ovation from the fans. He's done quite brilliantly today. And also coming off for us today, well, he's not an excellent game. It's Brennan Johnson who's been outstanding. Forest very much managing the last few minutes of this contest. Changes made. And this was the key moment. Johnson putting Forest 2-0 up.
Very opportunistic strike, that one. He's had a good game, Johnson. BBC gave him man of the match, and to be fair, like I said, they all deserve it. It's a fun stat for you for the end of this match. Oh, as there's a possible chance for Daka? No. Before this game, the record between these two sides, there's 39 wins in Nottingham Forest's favour, 40 in Leicester's, and there's been 27 draws. So in about 5 minutes' time, there's going to be nothing in it between them. So it's always an exciting prospect, these two facing one another.
Well, don't forget, this is the East Midlands derby. There's a lot of personal pride at stake between a lot of Forest and Leicester fans. Not a lot of space separating these two sides between us as they fly up the M1. Here's Soy and Chu. And the M1, of course, will be the motorway I'll be hitting in about an hour or so as I go down to the south coast and make my way to Trevor Vision Centre. Here's Soy and Chu. And the pass from behind is by Worrell again, who's been outstanding. There he goes again, Dewsbury Hall. And at the moment, it is a little Rabona pass all the way through at the moment. Nottingham Forest moving through. Their front three have changed completely, but let's see what they can do here. Justin coming into support. Here's Spence, 89th minute. Not long to go. Brilliant dummy that was. Poor cross, considering an excellent work made. Just needed to get your head up there. And now here is the opportunity for Cook. And Cook's lost it. Worrell, though, helps out as he's done today. He's been sweeper, he's been first line defender, he's been attacker. He's done just about everything required and has done an outstanding job today. And we're coming up to the last few minutes. And for us here, if you're waiting to see more action from the commentary hub, join us tomorrow where we've got delayed coverage of the game between Bournemouth and Boreham Wood. You can join JB for that game tomorrow afternoon. So stick your notifications on for the channels if you're listening. Don't forget to like this video and make sure you're subscribed for this alternate view in commentary across the world. And for Brendan Rodgers today, well, there's some frustration for him. But 3 minutes of time added on to be played. But in truth, he can have no complaints because his side have been outplayed today.
Well, he picked the side and he made the decision to drop Kasper Schmeichel, which I think is probably one of the more baffling decisions to make. He's got the shape wrong as well. He's probably expected Nottingham Forest to be an easy game, and it's been anything but. So he's got to take a fair share of the blame for this one as well.
Well, here's Ricardo Pereira at the moment for Nottingham Forest. Oof! Flashed his effort wide. And if ever that summed up performance, that's it there. Ricardo's efforts, he's through, and it's just flashed wide. And Brendan Rodgers knows as the rain starts to fall on the players here today, it is certainly not their day. And that's Ricardo's effort.
Just curling away, wasn't it? Needed a bit more bend the opposite way, and that would have been a cracking finish. But again, they're failing to hit the target, Leicester City. That's been their main problem today. If you don't hit the target, you might as well not take the shot at all. It really is just... You've got minimum effort is the hitting the target side of things when you're trying to score. And if you don't hit the target, well, you just don't score.
Well, we can see the away fans for Leicester City in the Bridgeford stand end there, starting to exit. It's going to take a lot to get the Nottingham Forest fans to want to leave tonight. What a famous night this is going to be in their club. Could it get just a little bit better in the last few minutes? Here's an Inacho for Leicester City. Now Ricardo. And the long ball over the top. That's a good header away. Here's Wilfred Ndidi. And referee says no free kick to that. Dewsbury Hall. In Inacho. Madison. Leicester not giving up, but playing for more personal pride, I suspect, more than anything. Free kick given. So a chance to reduce the arrears in the last minute or so of time added on. But a really frustrating evening if you're a Forest fan. And you can see the fans over to my right, all entering. That's where all the away fans that have been situated for Leicester City. They're departing. They don't want to be in the hail, which is very much now what is falling upon us here in the East Midlands. Madison getting sets. Justin Soyuncu being well marshalled again by McKenna and Cook. It's a two-man wall. Colback is in it. Yates is there marking Daka. And it is headed wide by Justin. Got about 20 seconds to go. And Nottingham Forest have a famous FA Cup night and find themselves in the 5th round. No doubt about it. It'll be party time here in the Trent stand. Now Forest can break in the last few moments. This is an opportunity for them to move forwards. And now we wait and see the last few moments of this contest. And it looks like there's just going to be a slight knock. And that's it! That is it. On the occasion of an East Midlands derby where you expected there to be drama, to it to be a tight game, it was anything but. It was an absolute rocket buster performance by Nottingham Forest. They have been outstanding this evening. To a man, they deservedly win it. The captain today, with one of the finest captain performances you'll see in the Cup, Steve Cook's making the impossible job look rather easy. For Leicester City, their defence of the FA Cup sadly comes to an end. And it comes to the end in sad occasions because, to be fair, they were completely blown away by their championship rivals. A brilliant performance by from Nottingham Forest to demolish Leicester City. Certainly an occasion Brendan Rodgers will want to forget. A day in which Steve Cooper and everybody involved in Nottingham Forest will want to remember for a long, long time to come. It was a fine performance today from all sides involved, but Forest deserved winners, and it should have been by more, in my opinion. Winners by 4-1.
Well, there used to be a phrase in this part of town in Nottingham that Nottingham Forest were magic. They've been magic tonight. 4-1 winners, and it could have been a lot more. It could have been 7 or 8, quite honestly. Leicester's grip on the FA Cup has been relinquished, and relinquished good and proper by Steve Cooper's troops, who, to a man, were just absolutely unbelievable tonight. The whole joint is jumping here at the City Ground. And who knows, this really could be something very special now with Forest in the midst of a promotion. With Forest in the midst of a promotion race at the moment to get out the Championship. They're in with a chance of a playoff spot. Could this be the springboard to more future success? They go to Hunt, and it means now the draw has been a bit more revised now. This draw's now taking shape. It'll be Nottingham Forest against Huddersfield in round number 5. Earlier today, Liverpool beat a very plucky Cardiff City by 3-1. There was some VAR controversy in that one. You saw that one, you heard that one with Russ Vernon, who's our producer here tonight, and we want to thank Russ for the beautiful music that's been played there. Nice catchy music, isn't it? And tonight at 6:30, and you'll be able to hear delayed commentary on it tomorrow evening as an FA Cup special. I'll be in the box for Bournemouth against the lowest ranked team left in the competition, Bournemouth Wood. The prize for the winners, a trip to Goodison Park in round 5. Well, the Forest players absolutely doing a lap of honour. It's almost as if they've won the FA Cup. Last won it back in 1959, came agonisingly close under Brian Clough in 1991. But they're on their way to the 5th round, and who knows, maybe beyond that, maybe back to Wembley for the semis, who knows. But Steve Cooper giving it large to the fans. They've suffered so much in the last 20 or so years, the Nottingham Forest fans. Lots of managers have gone and bit the dust. Relegations to the Championship and down to League One and back. They've been through hell and back, but it's those moments that really make it, in the end, worthwhile. So let's bring in Chris Whiteman again alongside me, and of course Trevor, who brought you the commentary, a top class commentary as well, by the way, from Trevor. Let's bring in Chris now. Chris, we have just witnessed a magical FA Cup performance, haven't we?
We have indeed. Nottingham Forest, from first minute to last minute, were a class above Leicester today, who just were not at it. I don't know what preceded them before this match, but they did not look like the Leicester City we're used to seeing. They were, I mean, Nottingham Forest were excellent. Let's not put this down to Leicester playing badly. Nottingham Forest were absolutely superb. Their tempo was excellent. Their pressing was excellent. They were clinical in front of goal, and they were just better in every position from the get-go. And they should take every credit for it. And Leicester were completely out of it. I don't know what Brendan Rodgers' team talk was. His selections were somewhat questionable, as I said, with Schmeichel being dropped. The formation setup was very safe. It wasn't very ambitious, and Nottingham Forest capitalised on it, and they really did. That couple of minutes where they scored 2 goals won them the game, because Leicester just couldn't get into their stride at all. And from that moment on, Nottingham Forest just took control and never relinquished it. They were absolutely superb tonight, and so were the fans. The atmosphere in the stadium today was electric. It was one of the top atmospheres I've witnessed, and it was absolutely superb.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. The atmosphere around this great old arena, and let's face it, it's a stadium that should be a top flight stadium. But I feel happy for the supporters tonight, because when you look at the last 20 odd years or so, or the last 30 years even, since Brian Clough actually left the ground or left the club, they've gone through the mill and back, you know, down to the third tier, those depths. And now, I mean, what does that now do to Forest as a sort of a springboard? Of course, they're going to make a few quid out of this cup run, and that's brilliant. They've had Arsenal here and Leicester here, and they've defeated them both. They've both been on television as well, so they've made, I would say, a couple of million quid from those 2 times alone, which is still a lot of money, and, you know, especially to a championship club who have not been in the Premier League for quite some time. But what really, well, could this actually now, Chris, be a springboard to even greater things in the league? Because they're not that far away from the playoffs, and, you know, as we see in the Championship week in, week out, anybody can beat anyone. So why can't Nottingham Forest get into the playoffs and potentially get a Wembley and win them?
Well, why not? I mean, the Championship is a special division in the fact that anyone can win and anyone can get promoted. It's the most open division in the world in terms of the top divisions around. And, I know it's the second tier, but it's one of the most watched tiers in the world. The standard is extremely good. But it's for Forest, this can definitely be, it can work 2 ways. It can be a distraction. You know, you want to be careful with this sort of thing because you don't want to spread yourself too thin. I can distinctly remember, obviously, my own experience seeing Burnley with their FA Cup, League Cup and promotion push all thrown into one season led to a ridiculous length of season where it was nearly 60 games with a threadbare squad. Yeah,
it was actually 60. I think it was 62 games, I think, or something like that.
So, and they were very close to getting to a final. And it can definitely be a very positive momentum swing, because you build that belief that you can beat absolutely anyone, and you get that kind of invincible kind of feeling. I do see a lot of similarities. The style of football that Forest are playing is it's very attacking. There's no kind of regard for who they're playing either. They're not over intimidated by who they're playing, regardless of what tier it is. So, and obviously with Huddersfield Town as their next opponent, Nottingham Forest are going to be sitting there going, we could have a really good FA Cup run here. You know, the Wembley semi-final is, you know, on the cards. And if they play like this against all their opponents, if they keep playing like this in the Championship, I don't think there will be many teams capable of stopping them.
Absolutely. I mean, Huddersfield will go there now in the next round. In actual fact, maybe just give you we'll give you a recap of the draw before we leave you tonight. But what I can tell you that the games will be played in the first week of March, and it's a midweek game, so that makes the games a bit more special in that sense. So we're just looking at some of the goals here on our monitors here, some of the set piece goals and some of the crosses that came in. Leicester were just all over the place, weren't they? They were just, I mean, if you're Brendan Rodgers right now, he will be fuming, won't he?
Well, he sent that team out there, so as much as what's going on here?
Oh well, it must have been it must have been a Leicester fan, because he was having a bit of a punch up there. I hope. Can I just, before we bring you back in, Chris? Sorry, I just hope the fan has been apprehended and is arrested, and I hope he's banned from all football grounds forthwith. Right. Anyway, back to the Sims.
Yeah. As much as he'll be fuming with the performance, he's obviously thought that team was capable of winning this match. But at the same time, don't be disrespectful to Nottingham Forest. Like, if you've got Kasper Schmeichel available, if you've got your best players available for a derby game, you should be playing them. No disrespect to Danny Ward, I'm sure he absolutely relished the chance of playing in this game. But the defence was all at sea, and I feel like if Schmeichel was there, it wouldn't have happened, because you know he would have torn into them. I dare say he tore into them at half time, but it's Brendan Rodgers' tactical decisions in this game. He was a little bit slow with the substitutes. I think he should have made more subs at half time. The formation was, let's face it, it just didn't match up very well. You know, sure, they've got 5 in midfield, but as I said, the overloading scenario caused by the Forest's 3-4-1-2 formation that it's been listed as, it was very fluid. They just didn't match up very well. And Brendan Rodgers today has to take a good portion of the blame, but the players out there should have been capable of playing a lot better. I look at James Maddison's performance today; he was absolutely woeful. Yuri Tielemans, the standing captain, was basically invisible. It was just, if you could give Nottingham Forest all 10s, you could probably give most of the Leicester players all 1s, really. Apart from maybe Inacho for pouncing on that one mistake that Nottingham Forest made. But apart from that, Leicester were just Leicester were awful and Nottingham Forest were brilliant. It was just two complete pole opposites as to how to perform. And Nottingham Forest just, well, like I said, they probably looked at that 4-0 performance that they ended up with back in 2012, where they lost 4-0, and thought, hey, let's at least get something back. But of course, Leicester did get a goal. But either way, I'll take 5 goals in this game, and it was Nottingham Forest were just stupendous, is the best way to put it. They were out of this world and deserved wins.
Absolutely, and well, that's brilliant. And a final thought from you, Chris, and what's been? I'll give you the draw. We'll give you the draw in just a minute, guys, before we leave you. But let's look back at the. Let's just quickly have one final thought on the fourth round as a whole. I know we've got one game to come, and that could still. I mean, Bournemouth would win out. That would just splash anything out of the shade, wouldn't it? But when you look back at it, obviously Forest winning, as we've just heard. Middlesbrough beating Manchester United. Now that was a shock in itself. But we've got to give a shout out to Kidderminster Harriers, haven't we, Chris? Because we watched them against West Ham yesterday as football people, and I've watched the game back, and I look at it and I think, how close were they to putting up the mother of all shocks of all time in the competition's 150-year history? They should have had. They were robbed essentially, and West Ham really got out of jail, didn't they?
Well, West Ham really dug themselves out of that hole that they put themselves in, really. I mean, Kidderminster were superb that day. West Ham, I mean, I don't want to say they were lucky, but, for bear in mind that their goal was in added time. For 90 minutes, Kidderminster Town were the best team. It was just fitness clearly showed, because obviously as extra time came in, obviously they wilted a bit, and that kind of goal kind of demoralises you anyway, you being that close to going through. But the FA Cup this year has been something special, and I love the FA Cup, and to see it devalued by some fans and some teams by saying, it's only the FA Cup, I'd rather finish top 4. It's a load of nonsense. The FA Cup it's the oldest cup competition in the world. It's the best cup competition in the world, barring maybe the European Cup, but that's a slightly different format. But the FA Cup is magic. And this year, I feel like it's been one of the better ones in recent years, let's put it that way. But in terms of the amount of shocks and underdog stories, it's been absolutely superb.
Absolutely, and thank you very much. Hey, Chris, it's been lovely to have you back on the TC Hub, and Trevor as well. Well done to you both. Great commentary from both of you, as we'd all come to expect at the TC Hub, and we hope to hear you back on. We hope to have you both back on there very soon.
Always a pleasure.
I'm glad you enjoyed yourselves anyway. Well, that's it from us. Just one more thing I need to clear up before we leave. The revised fifth round draw. We got one game to come. Incidentally, you'll be able to hear that tomorrow night on the TC Hub and all platforms. Just a couple of things I need to go through before we leave you tonight. A little bit of cross promotion in a moment for Trevor's channel. But first, the fifth round draw now as it stands. Luton Town will take on Chelsea. Crystal Palace will play Stoke City. Peterborough United against Manchester City. What a tie that is for Peterborough United there at London Road, incidentally, that game. Liverpool, Norwich. Southampton against West Ham. Middlesbrough, Tottenham. And I think that could, I'm with Chris on that one, I think that could be a potential tie of the round. Nottingham Forest take on Huddersfield Town. And Everton will play neither Bournemouth or Bournemouth, as I say, kick off in just over 20 minutes' time at the Vitality Stadium. Those games will be played in the week commencing the 28th of February, I'm being told. So 3 weeks on Monday, that will be happening. So well done to all the winners. Hard luck to Leicester today. Forest, brilliant. One more thing, I need to do a bit of cross-promotion for Trevor Sports. We've got, as you probably guessed, if you're a subscriber to his channel, you will have realised that he's running an FA Cup, virtual FA Cup, all of his own. He's roped in Chris, Ross and myself and Malk to do some of the commentaries. And so we're making it really special virtually as well. We've got a real good game for you at 8 o'clock. It's being premiered on his channel. It's Chelsea versus Manchester City. And of course, we'll have highlights, I think, of 3 other games, which one of them is a London derby between West Ham and Crystal Palace as well. But that's in the virtual world. But in the real world, as I say, before we leave, thank you to Chris and thank you to Trevor as well. Great commentary team. And we hope they'll be back on the channel soon. And thank you to producer Russ as well for his contributions tonight. And of course, he covered Liverpool 3, Cardiff 1. So Liverpool through. It wasn't easy against them, as you heard earlier. But Nottingham Forest, once again, well, they used to sing a song. They used to sing a song at Nottingham Forest. It was called Nottingham Forest Are Magic. Well, today, they certainly were magic. From me, Trevor, and Chris, a very good night to you all. And take care. Have a good weekend. Good night.